Clicking up now.
All right, let me know. Let me know when you're ready. Man, like John Lawrence live, you know.
Yes. Well, I'm here. I'm live.
Come on, Johnny Lawrence. Let's ready to chop it up whenever you're ready. I mean, man.
Right, hold on. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Truth Talk with Big John and Truth and Rights TV. I'm just hoping if anyone's on commenting, can you just please let me know if you can hear Truth and Rights as we're going through.
They might not be able to hear the man, you know. But if you can't hear me, it's all good.
No, it isn't. I want them to hear you.
What I'm saying is, if they can't, they can hear you. That's the main thing. Man, like John Lawrence, how are you, my main man?
I'm good. I'm a bit tired, but I'm good.
You've been tired, yeah?
Yeah, I've been to Liverpool this week.
I know. And was it successful up there this week?
It was a good video, and I called out the people who are supposed to be looking after us and their accountability. At the moment, Liverpool, they're estimating 100 million of Liverpool's taxpayers' money has been gone through the council onto shady deals and things like that. Yeah, and that's taxpayers' money. And the one thing we know is nobody is ever held accountable for failing people. And because of that, now the Conservatives are overseeing the council, and Liverpool hate the Conservatives from the Hillsborough days. Do you remember that story?
Of course. How can we forget the Hillsborough?
Come on. And so for their own mistakes and their own Labour mayor's mistake, now the Conservatives are overshadowing the council, and that's not good. You know what I mean? And it's just a disgrace. I also called out the serving decorative mayor Anna Roffery because she lied in court, tried to get my friend with a charge, which my friend appealed, and it all got thrown out because she lied.
She tried to get your friend a charge?
Yeah, honestly.
Who's your friend?
Right, she's called Kim. Now,
okay, what is she, like an activist or something?
She's an activist.
Okay.
And she was on her way to work one day because she lives in Liverpool, and she's come up at a junction, and that Anna Roffery is in another car. So they've had a verbal altercation. When she got home from work that night, the police arrested her and nearly kept her in for 24 hours. At first, they charged her with stalking because Anna Roffery said that Kim stalked her from where she lived.
Okay.
Yeah, so they took all Kim's electronic devices, found out she hadn't been there. She hadn't been nowhere near Anna Roffery's house. Yeah, and then Anna Roffery said there was male men in the car all shouting racist things at her. Kim was on her way to work, mate, at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. There was nobody in the car except for her, so she lied. And she didn't go through the proper procedures. What she did, she phoned her mate, the chief inspector, first before she reported a so-called crime.
Wow.
And we called her out. My friend went to court, got a charge. She appealed it, and it got thrown out of court. When my mate, Kim, went up and stood for herself and asked the questions like the barrister or solicitor does.
Where's your mate Kim from? Oldham or
Liverpool?
Okay, Liverpool.
But the case was dealt with at Leeds Magistrates and Leeds Crown Court.
Why?
Well, normally they do things like that because maybe something might go on in Liverpool. If there was a court case in Liverpool, there might be trouble. So they always move them around, to and I can understand that. When Jamie Bulger were killed, they never had the case in Liverpool.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because people would have rioted.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that's just one of the reasons. But anyway, we went to Liverpool. I had a good time.
Did you stay there overnight, or did you come back the same day?
Come back the same day.
Okay.
It's only 50 minutes.
You're off in it's only how long?
50 minutes.
50. Do you take train?
Yeah.
And I see that you're doing something at Falmouth or something this Sunday, yeah?
Failsworth, yeah. There's been a load of trolls. There's been a load of people, and they just call everybody racist. They dox people by giving out their addresses.
Who's doing that?
These are the people. Some of the enemy, the trolls, are lefties in Failsworth.
So where is Failsworth?
It's a part of Oldham. It's South Oldham.
Okay, so what are you not doing there this week? A protest?
Well, I'm not protesting. What I've done, I've called them out and said, "Come and meet me and debate with me."
Are they going to come?
I doubt it.
So what do you call them? The lefties?
Yeah, the lefties, all the trolls.
The trolls, the lefties.
And you know, I did my video the other day, and I said some things at part of our party, which is no permanent settlement. Now, I'm racist for saying that. That's what these people say.
Yeah, you see, so I mean, so this week there's been lots of events this week. I mean, where do we start? I mean, John, I mean, you got. I know what we're going to touch on. There's the anniversary of these three boys. Yeah. I know you're going to touch on that, but before we touch on that, Johnny, we go into it. I mean, you've got the synagogue thing. These boys are in Blackburn. Quite a few people have been arrested. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got Tommy Robertson declaring, £2 million, 1.5 million. These old lawyers. I mean, it's really deep, man.
It is, but I mean, you've got to remember that if you're an enemy of the state, they'll try everything to bring you down.
But how do you feel about this guy living in a life of luxury? And I mean, all these fans sort of live really on the breadline, you know. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
When I read it out yesterday, I couldn't believe this guy's getting a gym built. A basketball. Is he like the Jay-Z and Beyonce? Yeah. I mean, John, man. I mean, this is some serious lifestyle, bro.
It is.
I mean, when you look at that, and most of his followers haven't got a pot to piss in, John.
Yeah. I agree.
It's fucking too much, bro. It's too much. If you're a leader, yeah, come on, man. What kind of leader is this now? This is a money thing leader, bro.
Of course. Listen. If anybody was serious, they'd start their own political party. They'd run. He did try to run as an MEP, but they'd do more. And that's the way I want to go. I want to get into political parties. I don't want to go on demonstrations for 3 hours around London, get ringed in by police and do nothing. I want to step up and do things that are actually making a difference.
But I hear you what you're saying, John. But the donations, though, I mean, what's the difference between you and him raising donations? Is it because, you've been on the grind for a long time now, my man?
Yeah.
Is it because he's got a massive profile? Because, you see, the difference with what I see of you and this guy is you would never dream of living a life like that.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
John, all I could say is like this, yeah? To me, when I read about this guy's life, the lifestyle, it's like you're ostracized from the real people, bro.
I know.
You're ostracized. It's like you're living in a castle up there, and all your followers are living like peasants down. You don't understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get you. He's been honestly. There's loads of people who go on about his donations. You know, they absolutely go on it. But I mean, I'm not bothered.
People that's doing the real grassroots work, they're not getting fuck all. People like yourself who've built up loads of different organizations, right? Have been built up trying actually, who are not fascist groups, who are not this, who are not that, but they can't get nowhere near. They can't even get enough money to buy a car.
Yeah, you're right. Just 1 minute. Just let me go into my chat. Good evening. God bless Tony Strickland, Shazza, Obi, Dave Bond. Good evening, sir. Who else? T Lady, Shazza in Leeds. I've said Truth Crusader. Thank you very much.
Saluting all the fans.
Yeah, honestly, if if Tommy Robinson had started his own political party, got people running in elections, what can anyone say about his donations? But he doesn't do any of that. He just has demos, and they're not doing anything. They're not. Years ago, I realised that these big demos don't do nothing. If you want to start, you've got to start in your local community. You can go down London and network, but you still got to start in your local community. 90 quid train ticket can get me 20,000 leaflets. You know what I mean? And I've been to London on the train dozens of times. So that's how I want it. But if he was going to go like that, then I think he'd do well, and you can have whatever donations. But I don't always go on about donation. I'm not bothered. It's a route that if I wanted to go down, I'd have to call everyone out. I'd just do my own thing, and I get a little bit of money here and there. Nothing spectacular. You know what I mean?
You get enough for your little travels and help you.
Yeah, and just the odd meal here and there. You know what I mean? That's all I get. I don't get enough money to drive around in fancy cars or anything, or jet off to.
I know, my brother.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's a travesty right there, because the people who you see doing all the groundwork. But what I was going to ask you is, when you first used to go on the demos, right?
Yeah.
It must have. When you left those demos, did you leave there feeling? I'm talking about when you first used to go, like on Tommy Robinson's thing. Did you leave there feeling like you've achieved something? There was some kind of hope. You know what I mean? Did you leave there feeling like fulfilled?
No.
At first, John. At first.
No, I didn't. Not even at first. I'd go on a demo on it, but you got to remember, it weren't Tommy demos I first went on. I went to plenty of demos before Tommy Robinson.
But that's what I'm saying. Right, so the build up. You got to remember, you heard of this guy's name before you went on his first demo.
Yeah.
There was a big build up to his reputation.
Yeah.
Right. So when you went, did you feel kind of a bit overwhelmed, kind of thing? When you first met him.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't really feel them kind of things, me.
No, but
some people do.
Some people do. And that's what gets them to be a fan of his. And when I first met Tommy, and from the first meeting of people who people put on a pedestal, a lot of people get overwhelmed.
Yeah, they do.
But people like me and you, we're different. We're kind of different. You know, but you don't get overwhelmed by people like Tommy Robbo, because you know that you could be just as good as him, or if not better. Why? Because you know you could be better than him. You know you could easily be better than him, John.
Yeah.
Because you got to look at what is your direction and what was his direction. His was only to fill up his bank account balance, bro.
Probably, yeah. Honestly, I'm not doubting you. And there's other people within the movement who are doing the same thing, who've been accused of the same thing. But I've always been a proactive person. Even before Tommy Robinson came on the scene when he was a little kid, I was proactive.
Doing your thing.
Yeah, wanting to change.
Is it Tomo, your little mate? Is it Tomo?
You mean Joel?
Joel, yeah, you and Joel, you always been at it.
Yeah, and we didn't just stop. We went on a lot of different demos. Remember when I told you I wanted to see what they were like? I wanted to see the kind of people who were on them. I wanted to talk to people. That's when I started filming and interviewing people. That's how I wanted to know the demos. I didn't want to just go on and walk and shout. I wanted to feel the energy. I want to know where the energy's coming from.
And that's what I was talking about, that energy. When you first used to, because a lot of people, it was that whole EDL thing. It was meant to be a political party. Am I right or wrong?
I think it would have ended. No, it was always going to be a street movement. But yeah, the evolution would have been a political party.
Well, the British National Party was a political party.
It still is a political party.
Right, the BNP is a political party.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's happened to them then? There's no one really running that then.
I think a lot of internal fallouts and things like that with it.
Well, you know that the guy who actually started that, Nick Griffin, he's actually quite an intelligent guy.
Yeah, have you watched some of his? There's a few people who've said the same thing to me.
Well, he's actually more. He was more genuine than Tommy Robinson.
Right. Yeah, there'll be.
I tell you why. Because Nick Griffin never wasn't living that guy. He never had gym and basketball and going on like his name's Michael Jordan. I'm reading this guy's thing yesterday. I'm thinking, what is he trying to do? Got an MTV Cribs thing or what? Tommy Robbo. You know that a lot of these guys, no matter how far right they are, they're still influenced. You got to remember, Tommy Robinson, he's younger than me and you. So he's still influenced by that whole hip-hop thing. As much as they say they don't like it. He wants to be Jay-Z. He wants to be Jigga Man, Eminem. Look how he's living. Bro, it's only rap stars who live like that, you know. Only Mick Jagger and Barry Manilow and them people live like that, brother. The man, they live like real rock star, you know.
I know. But but the thing is,
Tommy Robinson is a real rock star. I tell you why. He can't go to McDonald's or to the park with his kids. He can't be like that. And the only people like that is Jay-Z and them people can't go. They're not regular guys. You can't be a regular Joe. So Tommy Robinson is that so that's why he lives like that. That's why all these people give him so much money to live a life that we only could dream of.
I know.
That guy private jets around the place, you know. But it's the truth because he's got a lot of billionaire people behind him.
Yeah.
Billionaires.
Yeah.
So it's real like that. What's that guy? Them people called Rebel Media.
Yeah.
Rebel Media. I'm sure Rebel Media would even employ Katie Hopkins the other day.
Oh yeah. Of course, yeah.
So why can't Rebel Media employ you?
I don't wanna go with Rebel Media. I want me and you and the next British man in the chat to sort out this country. I don't need anybody from America. I don't need anyone from Israel. I don't want anyone from Russia. It's us working class people who are going to sort our country out.
Thank you very much. I to that. Here. Now let's go on to this anniversary thing now, John. So enlighten me now and throw it down now and tell me what I'm going with this whole corruption now with this
right.
Murder. It's a scandal. This is scandal.
It is a scandal. It is a scandal. As you can see, justice for our boy. So 4 years ago, on the 26th of January, which is next Wednesday, when they were run down. Now, there was a big party at the football place nearby, and this is where all the kids in the area, wherever, were going to this party, hundreds of children, yeah? And this particular road where they was walking down, you don't normally get that many people on that road, yeah? Remember, because it's a slip-off road from the motorway, and it's like it goes into the town. It's a road that you drive down in a car, but you don't normally get people walking this road. Yeah. Now there was a load of kids on this path, and the car's gone up the pavement, but he's not mounted the pavement. You know, it's one of them pavements that has a run up. So like if you had a wheelchair, you're not going up a step.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? Yeah. And he's purposely on that one gone up. Sped along, is it two kids who've been pushed to the side, and then is it Josh, George, and Harry, and killed them all? And when you look at the reports, the reports the next day, right? On Tracy's video, a documentary. I hope you're going to watch it. I have put it on my channel, and if you want a copy to watch for yourself, I can sort you that copy out. Yeah. There was a guy on the news reports called Tony Kitchen wearing a yellow jacket. Yeah, I took the picture of that car. So Tracy's got in contact with him weeks later or months later and asked him about the event. And he said, oh, no, I didn't take the picture. Somebody at the work, the lad who took over at the works, took the picture, then texted me. So Tracy said, well, what about this guy's number? Well, I didn't know him. This Tony Kitchen, I don't know him, and I don't know how to get in contact him. But this guy had his number to text him. Yeah. And also in the documentary, you'll see that another reporter puts his name down that he took that photo.
Okay.
And they tried to contact him, but he wouldn't speak to him. Besides that, looking at the newspaper reports, every one of them says that the driver was drunk and lost control of the car. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The families were at the first court briefs. That guy never got charged with drunk driving.
What did he get charged with?
Dangerous driving, yeah, but he never got charged with drunk driving, even though the media was saying that the guy was drunk and he had traces of cannabis in his blood. Yeah. If you watch the documentary, there's the CCTV, there's two witnesses, two lads who were witnesses there, and they wasn't even interviewed about the kit, anything. And these were main witnesses. And when the CCTVs come out that the police have released, on the documentary, you can see these two lads and they're watching it. But they've had to blur the two lads' faces up, right? Because as soon as people knew that these lads had said something, there was threats towards them and people were having a go at them and stuff like that. So I watched a video where the lads' faces aren't blurred, and if you would have seen the change in their face when they realised that the video that was being shown was faked or was not right. And you can hear the lads talking, no, that's not right. We were here. We talked to this bus driver. We did it. This isn't right. This is not right. This is what they're saying. These are two witnesses who no one's talked to. They've never had. Yes, Andrew Mitchell, my nephew. This is two witnesses who the police never came to. They never checked up. They never asked for any statements off them or anything. And there's a load of other things. You've got to watch the documentary, though. But like I said, it's come down, and what we think is that the police knew it was going to happen and just covered it up when it happened for whatever reason. But the documentary.
But I want to know why though. Why would the police do a cover up like this of this magnitude though?
I don't know, but what do you mean a cover up of this magnitude? Joe Cox got killed in Batley, and that was a big, massive thing, and that was covered up. I wouldn't put it past the government or the authorities or the police to do something like this. I wouldn't put it past them, mate.
No, neither would I. But I just wanted to know. Sometimes there's a reason behind it, But
well, I think
the defendant might have contacts in the force and shit like that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think we have anything on that kind of route, but my personal opinion is that however way the police knew it was going to happen and then covered it up. What we also know is a lot of the phone calls to do with the case wasn't directed at the local police station. It was directed to the counter-terrorism police station. I'm not sure what it's called.
Right.
But a lot of the calls were directed to the counter-terrorism. Why would they direct it to counter-terrorism if it's nothing to do with terrorism?
Exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, there's so much more, mate. What I'll do, I'll try and I've got a copy of the crash report and I'll get it to you. And I've also got a copy of Nick Hurd, the serving member of parliament of that area. Nick Hurd he's been an MP for years, very high profile. The families have gone to him, and he's wrote a letter to the Crown Prosecution Service with 4 points for a reinvestigation and a retrial.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's wrote this to the Crown Prosecution Service. Next thing, he's quit his job as an MP and gone to some obscure post in Northern Ireland and won't even talk to the families.
Wow.
But honestly, I've got a picture. We've got evidence. We've got the email that he sent to the Crown Prosecution Service. And there's other people within the force who know that emails been sent, and he's gone to Northern Ireland, won't even speak to families anymore. And that should just tell you. Good evening, Tracy. Lambeth Police Station is where tourism things are dealt with. So why were all the calls directed to Lambeth if it was nothing to do with tourism?
Yeah, he might have been on a watch or something, isn't it?
Certainly, definitely was. I think he was, and I think they knew that he was going to do something.
On a watch list, man. He must have been, man. For that to get directed, see, that makes more sense.
It does, doesn't it?
It
certainly does.
Because I mean, look, even this week, this guy who went in the synagogue, Canada or
America.
America. He was on Canada. He was on the terrorist watch list.
Yeah.
yeah. He was on terrorist watch list, and they still made him go over the border, get out of the country, and do that in the synagogue.
Yeah.
See, so for this to be directed to counter terrorism, but John, sometimes a lot of crime they put into counter terrorists first. But once there's like a Muslim involved in.
I don't know. Personally, I haven't seen any kind of stats for that or anything. But I mean, besides that, there was police station 500 yards away, and there was a phone call to 999, and one of the kids is saying that the smoke coming out of the car and stuff like that. That is a fire engine thing, because that car might blow up and set on fire. So
yeah,
fire engines never came.
That sounds like a bomb or something explosion.
Yeah, 500 yards down road, the fire station, mate. 500 yards, been 5-minute walking distance for me.
But Jordan, what you mean? What actually? What pulled you to this case? What actually drew you? Because I mean, like this is very far away from where you are.
Right. So I was in. Tommy were doing a speech at Speaker's Corner. Martin Selnick, some European dude who was doing a speech there. So we all went down, and it's first time at Speaker's Corner. I seen Tracy, and I seen a couple of the other mothers. I picked up a flyer, and when I went home, I looked on YouTube, looked at the videos, started researching, looked into it myself, and then it picked up from there. And I get it. Even before that, I talked about senseless deaths and cover-ups by the police. Even before that, I know it happens. And obviously, I've got more into the case, followed Tracy, met Tracy many times, personal good friends. And then I wanted to go down to the scene of the crime to see myself.
And you done that, yeah?
I done that. I spent 3 days there.
Like a Colombo, isn't it?
I am. That's what you've got to be. I always tell people that don't just believe what you see on the telly. Go and see it yourself. Go and check it out yourself.
You spent 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days down there.
Yeah.
So I got intimate with that road. I looked on me Google Maps, looked how it come off the motorway. I seen the kind of traffic on the road and stuff like that. I examined every little bit. I looked at the curb where the car could go up and come down. It's dead smooth. It'd be dead easy if you were going fast to up that curb and down it the other side.
Yeah, that's a serious thing in a car.
Yeah.
What do you say? He hit 5 of them and 3 of them. The 3 of them guys?
Yeah. But the media don't say that. The media only said he hit 3.
But it's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 got hit, but the media only said 3. The main media is just 3. They don't even mention the other 2 who got hit.
Did the other 2 get injured badly?
No.
Wow. So how long did he get then?
13 years. And then it got reduced to, wait, she said something else in chat. Then it got reduced by 3 years. And I mean, there's other stuff said on the documentary. You really need to put some time in and watch that documentary. You really do. And
wow, so he got even reduced.
Yeah, he got it reduced.
Sentence, he fucking got it down.
Yeah.
in what year?
2018.
So he's out soon.
Yeah, and the trial, all his case was dealt with within a month.
Do you know that means he's out next year?
Yeah.
Because out of 10 years, you do half 5.
Yeah.
Or is it? I know, it's more. He's got to do more. He's got to do more out of that. Yeah, he's got to do about 6 and a half, 7.
No. Tracy said he's out soon. So it's 4 years to the date. So he'll be out soon. He'll be out within the next year.
I wonder. He might be. Good behaviour and all that.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But it's unbelievable, mate. The failings and everything else in it. The media reported it. All the media go that he lose control and he was drunk, but he never got charged with drink driving. We've got the crash report that states that he did not lose control of the car when he mounted the car.
How do you live with yourself, man? You kill 3 little kids like that. I don't know how you live with yourself, brother.
Well, unfortunately, mate, a lot of the people we get over here are not. They live by different rules in their country.
3 little boys like that. When you look at their faces, they're just, why? They don't even start puberty yet.
Yeah, honestly, and the other night we did a stream and Tracy pointed something out that people have been attacking her, saying her boys were drug dealing, right? But this is commonplace in cases now. We had the Bradley Gledhill trial. I told you about that, and all the while the trial were on, people were attacking his mum, saying Bradley was drug dealing, and after the trial, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
And them kids wasn't drug dealing.
No, they weren't. They were on the.
You could tell them boys wasn't. They Rupert boys is little boys.
Yeah, and one of them.
Little young boys, nice little young innocent boys.
Yeah, one of them, promising young footballer.
He was. I remember reading that. He was.
Yeah.
Promising footballer. You know what I mean? So that is very, very sad, boy. Very, very sad. When you lose your loved ones like that, your little ones, your little babies, boy, it's not easy.
It isn't. I mean,
and another thing is, John, you see them kind of man, when they come out, they just go back to their country, and they just get lost into it. No one find them again.
Yeah.
It's not like once them man got relatives outside of England, them gone.
Yeah.
Because especially when they know that there could be retributions.
Yeah.
When they know there could be retributions, you think the man they stayed in England?
No.
He don't need to stay in England. He fuck off to Islamabad or whatever they could then do.
But I mean, the media as well. The media. I call them out all the time. Whenever I do a video somewhere at BBC, I call out Katie Razzle, Yasminir Khan, who said all them lies about him being drunk driving. He lost control. I call them out every time I go on Twitter and I call them out. I tweet about it and I call them out. I'll talk to anybody about the case or anything like that. And
they get paid, but the media, that's what they get paid to report lies.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
It's either he or they with them. They're just doing their job.
Yeah.
And they're just reading out what's in front of them. And whatever you say to recorrect it, they won't recorrect it. Their job is to report lies, my friend.
So
that's what sells, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Lies sells, and there's so many people who take in them fake lies.
The truth doesn't sell, mate. The truth is very boring, so they got to jazz it up with loads of bullshit.
Yeah, and like Tracy says, there's a lot of infiltration. People who you think are your friends, but they're not. They're doing something else for someone else's bidding, and they're all like that.
All like that. It's all for monetary funds, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Because the whole thing, as you say, people who you think is your friend is the same people then who are family members and friends who tell journalists, oh, they were selling drugs.
Yeah.
It's the same people then, you know, who they would know who would say that.
Yeah.
So it's an evil world we live in. know, it's just like, as you say, sometimes you have to fight. You fight. That's a good cause you're fighting, there, man. Justice for them boys, there.
It is, and I won't stop, mate. You know what I mean? I've lost friends. I've lost people. People troll me and
Why?
because they don't believe in the case, or they've moved off it, or they're trolls themselves. But you know, I'm steadfast, me, and nothing.
You're steadfast.
Yeah.
So what's the outcome that Tracy and the other mothers want for this case, John?
Well,
what is the outcome?
Should be murder. Should be 3 charges of murder and 2 charges of attempted murder, and that should be the minimum of the charges to get. On top of that, there's all any other kind of charge you can throw at them. If I knew it was a terrorist thing, I'd want them done at the highest levels of anything that can be done to people. But the minimum I want is 3 murder and 2 attempted murder. That's the minimum.
Yeah. But it would never happen, right?
It won't. It won't.
Oh, shit. Does she have any more kids, Tracy, or is that her only son?
No, she's got more children. But I mean, all the families have got more children. But the thing is, since this case, I've personally found out that there's hundreds of people been killed and it's been covered up.
Only since this case?
Not this case, not since this case, but over, let's say, a period of...
No, I'm saying only since this case that you found out that...
Yeah, all these people who've been killed.
Wow.
Remember, there's a black woman called Barbara in the northeast in Newcastle. Her son was killed by the police and she never got no justice, and she fights and shouts for it all the time. Barbara, she's called. I met the woman personally and recorded her speech.
Yeah, I mean, you grew up different from me because I grew up as a little kid seeing my family go on protests on black people who was killed, you know, in police stations from the 70s, from the 60s. So it's nothing new. You know, this is not new to us. I'm surprised that it's only this case it took for you to know this.
No, but I know people get killed by the police. I've shouted it. I know this, but it's all part of an agenda. This and like I said, it's not just black people who've been killed. White people have been killed. There's Chinese people who've been killed.
Of course. I mean, of course. But this is what I'm saying to you, John. I mean, you know, like there's there's like massive. Look, man. When you're dealing with police corruption at the highest level in the UK, right? And the case, when they do their corruption at the highest level, it happens to be cases was the most highlighted, like Hillsborough, like Stephen Lawrence. You know, these are two, and there's another case just now I was thinking of, but these are the 2 massive cases of cover-up of police corruption. You can dig really deep and you see how it manifests. It's like, this is real. You know, it's like, it's been going on ever since the force has been created. You know, and it will never stop. I mean, it's just how the police do their job. It's how the police do their job. I mean, it's like thousands of... The reason why there's so much cover-up is because the police are inadequate of doing their job. The police are here to serve and protect us. And that's the last thing that they actually do.
Yeah,
you know,
it certainly is.
A police officer cannot protect me and you. Right?
Yeah.
The police officer cannot protect me and you. I mean, like physically, a police officer drop their hands, they cannot protect me and you. So I don't know how the fuck you are there to serve and protect, because you cannot protect nobody. Check what I'm saying to you. Look at what I'm saying to you. A police officer, if you look at a police woman or a policeman, how fit physically are they? Right? You give them a right hand and they go down like a sack of potatoes. That is why, listen, the same way you look at the security guards who they employ at places. They employ some old, cracky, security guard at court places, at court buildings, right? They employ security guards at supermarkets where they're full of money, banks, and you don't see old security guards in a bank, right? You see old security guards still you see people who are meant to be retired being security guards. Same as a police officer, right? So a police officer is here to meant to protect. Not one police officer can protect me. I can protect them though, but they can't protect me.
No, but I mean, we talked about this before. I think that the police they've been corrupted, they're politically influenced, and the training they have with common purpose training, everything is against the working class. Everything to do with the police now.
It's the same place when those boys got killed. I'm going to tell you something. I am not surprised about that they're suckers. You know, the police, I'm going to give you a case. I know a girl who was living in that area, a white chick. She was having pure domestic problems with her mixed-race, crack-addicted boyfriend. Let me tell you something. The police officer, the guy was hiding in the attic, her boyfriend, one day. When the police officer come, she and the police officer is getting off and fucking.
Yeah.
All them police officers in Hillingdon are all corrupted. Instead of him doing it with the domestic, him a fuck the girl.
Right, yeah.
So I'm telling you this now, that is one of the most corrupted police places. They all on a cover-up thing.
Yeah, I don't doubt you, honestly. I'm always calling the police out for it. But one thing I said to the mayor the other day and to the chief of police, better vetting, because they're not vetting them. All they're doing is letting in sex offenders and people who kill women or corrupt police. They're not vetting them properly. And it's something, as a councillor, that I want to push. I want to go and have meetings with a chief inspector to see how they vet police officers. I want to make sure it's being done right. I want to make sure that the police officers we have on our streets.
Well, this is what I've said this. I mean, this is what you're saying. You're echoing my sentiments exactly. Because I have said that the police, I would like to teach the police how to interact with human beings. I want to do the recruiting for the police and the army. I said that. I said they need people like me and you to do this, to teach them how to recruit and how to do the vetting, how to do the interviews. Let me and you interview the people then.
Yeah, we should. The leaders of the communities should be more involved in this kind of thing. They should be.
Oh, of course.
They should be.
We should be more hands-on. We should have a say.
Yeah.
Because of what I said, right? Me and you are better police. Me and you could police our community better than the police. I'll tell you why. Me and you, if we was policing our community, me and you, right, John? Sarah Everard would be a fucking live today.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was policing, if I was protecting Sarah Everard, but you know what they did? That man there, he was one of the highest prestigious positions. He used to protect the MPs in her. That man who killed Sarah Everard used to protect the MPs in her. Do you know that or not?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So this is why that case went so straight to the elite's heart. It went straight to the government's head top. Why? Because you know what? If he was just a normal Bobby, they wouldn't have cared. But the MPs got so shook because they said, "Oh my God, this man used to protect me. He used to take me home. He knows where I live. And look what he done to that poor girl." They all got shook. That shook them from head to toe. The House of Commons, the House of Parliament. That shook them.
Yeah, they did, honestly. But remember, after that came out, Cressida Dick come out saying there was 3 or 5 more who were on in this guy's unit or in who were up for it. Can I just let me just interrupt a minute? Diane Betts, good evening. Gillian, Andrew Mitchell, my nephew's in. And of course, our Tracy as well. Good evening, chat. Good evening, chat. Sorry, I'm not looking too much at the comments. I have put the link to the documentary up. And I will do.
You've got a lot of lady fans. It seems like you got a lot of lady. Is Arlene all right have all these lady fans you got, huh? John, I see a couple pictures of you and Arlene posing back in the day. John, you're quite a charmer, though, isn't it, John? Huh?
I'm not a charmer.
John, you're kind of a charmer. I see you. John, all the ladies, man, you know.
She won't say that when she tells you I go in the street.
No, but you can see you're the ladies, man. But John, you're always a ladies, man.
No, I'm not. I'm not a ladies man. I'm not.
How come you got so much female fans?
I don't know. I'm just not a ladies fan. I'm not a ladies fan. But one thing I must say is that a lot of my fans are family people. They all have children themselves.
That's beautiful. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and when a crime happens to when a crime happens to any child in Britain, I feel that it's happening to my family.
Well, that's what I noticed. Yeah, but that's the way it should be. Brother, that's the way it should be. It's like this. When me and you was liquor boys, right, John? It's like all the man them in my area, all of them look on the liquor boys them like they was our father. That is why I couldn't tell my grandmother when the next man just disciplined me because she would beat me even more.
Yeah.
But that man, if I was rude to a man outside who was old enough to be my father, he would give me 2 licks, right? And this is what's fundamentally missing in society today. With the youth, there's nobody there to discipline them. We had that, but they don't have that now. So, all the kids, I look at the kids, who are killing each other. I look at all these youths, and look, my oldest grandson's going to be 16 this year. These kids who are killing each other, they're not even reaching 16 now.
Yeah. They're younger, yeah.
I'm reporting on the 12-year-old girl who get killed in Liverpool by a 13-year-old. I'm reporting on younger and younger, and I'm telling you, bro, it's like
we're going to.
All the kids, I don't look at them as they're my kids. I look at them as they're my grandkids now. All of you are my grandkids because that's the age they are now. They're not age of my children now, bro. My children are nearly fucking 40. But you understand? My oldest son is nearly 34. I look at them, man, like, I said, why? My oldest son next year is 35. After that, he's nearly 40.
Yeah.
You understand? So, his oldest son is 16 this year. So his oldest son is big beard and them shit there. So it's real. It's real like that now, John.
Yeah.
It's real. We're talking about it's my grandkids generation now. It's not my youth generation. It's my grandkids generation. And I look at all of them. They don't even have little bum fluff. They don't even have pubic hair yet, right? And they murders, and they are murderers now. And you know the scary thing is, John? The scariest thing is they're not just murderers, they are serial killers. Because some of them youth there who's only 16, they're prepared to murder 2 and 3 at the same time,
I know.
You're a serial killer.
I know, it's crazy, honestly. And you're right, the age has gone down. You never heard of 15-year-olds or 14-year-olds murdering people with knives before. You never heard of that 20 years ago. Now it's commonplace.
For someone like when I was young, me and you take a knife and we stab a 12-year-old girl to death. It's unheard of. Another youth. Look, John, when I was young, me and you, the worst crime, what they did to a young boy was the Jamie Bolger killing.
Yeah.
When 2 young kids kill another young kid.
Yeah.
That was the worst crime when a young kid killing another young kid when me and you was growing up. Was the Jamie Bolger one.
Yeah.
And I tell you, that's what I was going to say to you, John. The 3 biggest crimes, Hillsborough, Stephen Lawrence, and Jamie Bolger, all of them was police corruption from the highest level. Go and ask Ralph Bolger and ask Denise Bolger, the parents, them. Go on. I know that case very good inside out. I'm sure her name is Denise.
Wait, what?
The Bolger family.
Oh, the Bolger family.
Oh, yeah. The father was Ralph. Because his family, I know his family. Him and the mum, they split up because it was too much. He went a bit mad, didn't he?
Yeah.
I know his cousins and I know her family, the Boja girl. And I'm telling you this now, that was a police cover-up. So why does the police cover up, John, in a case of that magnitude? You know why?
Yeah.
Why does the police cover job for you to keep your job and I to keep my job?
Yeah.
And I think it's not personal. They killed, and that's one of the worst murders ever in British history.
Certainly, yeah. Certainly. Well, I mean, it is, but I mean, like you said, that 12-year-old girl who got killed.
Look what the taxpayers do. They give John Venables, the killer, a new name, new identity. What does he do? He goes back in prison for what? More. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Before he killed Jenny Boja, he reoffended. He's a big old sexual predator again and again and again.
Yeah.
That motherfucker can never be rehabilitated.
It can't. No. You're right.
See, these things can't brush under the carpet, John.
Yeah.
So back to the whole thing now, John. And this week has been a mad week for all of us now.
So no. What? Let's talk about the next UK Prime Minister.
So is it Rishi Sunak? Yeah.
Well, that's what everyone wants. That's what a lot of people are saying, but they're also saying a woman. But I mean, with Sunak,
Britain would never have an Asian Prime Minister. Not right now.
Right. Well. I mean, I'm not. I like Indians.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you, they won't get enough votes for white people.
Well, they might do. I don't know. But he is in the running for it. But let's put in. Why do I think he'd make a good prime minister or he wouldn't? I mean, he's educated in England. He was born here. His parents were part of the empire. Yeah, and stuff like that. But what scares me about him is his relationship. No, not with Boris. His wife is a daughter of one of India's biggest billionaires.
Yeah, I remember we were saying that. Go on.
And I don't like that. I don't like that because whenever rich or power comes, influence and corruption is so close behind.
Well, I tell you, but just because, but at the same time, I have to give him credit, right? Because as a chancellor, he's been a good youth. Because what's that thing called, though? The furlough scheme.
The furlough scheme.
Huh?
The furlough scheme.
All right, then. So I look at this now. I says, listen, this is the money. Even though sometimes it takes somebody to come from money to really feel empathy for the poor, And I feel say he feels an affinity to the poor. I bet you never know. You don't think so?
Yeah, definitely. I forgot to tell him that. Yeah.
I'm going to touch the wife, huh?
I've just got to mention one thing to the chat. Arlene just poured me a brandy.
Go on, Arlene, big old brandy. Well, I'm drinking old Bushmills tonight,
Oh.
Yeah, my Irish brethren, he bring me back this car. My Irish brethren, he's from that same county called where they just buried that school teacher got murdered in Offaly. County Offaly in Ireland.
What was that?
Huh?
Sorry, I missed that. Go on.
Yeah, no, you know where that school teacher got murdered in Ireland?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my Irish friend comes from. He comes from the same county in Offaly.
Ah.
And he just come back yesterday and he bring me back a couple of cases of the old Bushmills.
Oh.
Because that's one of my favourite tipples now. Yeah, that come from one of the greatest distillery in Ireland. The old Bushmill distillery, one of the oldest in Ireland, though. Yeah, so how is Arlene tonight? Is she okay, yeah?
Yeah, she's lovely, yeah.
Yeah, so Arlene, I said a big hello, man.
Right back at you, she said.
Right. So what you, as you say now, the Prime Minister, John, right? So why aren't someone like me and you, why are you ready? Are you ready to lead the country?
Yeah.
So you are in it.
Yeah.
So why can't me and you, right? Why wouldn't they make me and you be, right, John, even if we, like, I'm going to give you an example. Even if me and you was, say, even if me and you was members, MPs for Conservative right now or Labour, we still wouldn't be in the running, would we?
No, but I mean, it's a class.
You know why? We don't talk like David Lammy.
Yeah, I know, but we've got to get beyond that. They've done this.
Like them Mandy and Diane Abbott. You see the black people that make it. Look at Chuka Wumba, whatever his name is. Is it Chuka Chuka? I mean, that silly cunt. Do you know what? I don't want to reveal too much, but the fucking he's got a gal who live near me. And more time I see him and I see him and he's approachable. He spoke to me and he's okay, but he's kind of, what's that word? He's still kind of I don't know. I think he's shy. Yeah, he's a shy brother. That's all I say. He's very humble, nice brother, but he's very shy. Very private school thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Must be. Yeah, it must be. It's private school thing. It's kind of standoffish. Yeah. But him seem, I don't know. I don't know with them black MPs. They're all private educated, John.
No, they're privileged, aren't they? And they said that they're not privileged, and other black people.
They went to private school.
I know.
How can they say you're not privileged if you go to private school?
Very privileged.
You went to private school. David Lammy, Diane Abbott, Chuka Wumba. What the other one? The one who never goes to private school. And she's my constituent. That's my virgin. Dawn Butler. You don't like Dawn Butler, do you?
Who?
Dawn Butler.
I don't know him.
She was deputy of Labour, the black woman with the big lips.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't like her.
She's got this big succulent lips that you just want to kiss her. You know?
No, you don't. You want to kiss her with your fist. I mean, no. Listen. So let's go back to Prime Minister. I like Sonny, but I don't like the way he's in. I don't like the way that his family is rich and powerful. I don't like that because whenever that comes up, people underneath get trodden on.
Yeah, but you like Donald Trump, did you?
Well, as a person, no, I don't like Donald Trump as a person, but as a politician, and when he said he wanted to do things, I do like that.
But there you go. He came from money. His family, you don't get wealthier than that. He done the job. He done what you wanted him to do with it.
No, not really. He didn't. What? Listen. Why I like Trump was I don't think before he became president of the United States, never had no time for him. But when he became president, he said he wanted to do certain things, and he tried to do them things. He didn't backtrack like what's he called, David Cameron. He said he did a public thing saying he's not going to give the EU some money, and it was before an election. Then after the election, they ended up giving the EU the money. You know, Donald Trump doesn't do things like that. He said he wanted to build a wall for the right reasons. And even though everyone went against him, when Hillary Clinton was a senator, she was demanding that a wall get built. So why is she changing? Why is she having to go in when she was demanding it when she was a senator? And he tried to do the things that he said he wanted to do, which is more than what our stinking scumbag politicians in the UK do. They don't do anything that we want. They just do what they want.
In our time, who would have made the best prime minister in England who never got prime minister? Who do you think it would have been? How about Corbyn? Were you a Corbyn man?
No, I'm not a Corbyn man.
How about Ken
I'm not I only know a little bit about Ken. I know he did a lot in the past, but
back in the day, he was all right. Back in the day, I can't lie.
it wasn't. It was before I was politically active. If I went on now, I'd say I like somebody like Jacob Rees-Mogg. That's who I'd. No. I like him because he could. No, I love him. I love him.
Jacob Rees-Mogg, he would not talk to me and you. Are you crazy?
I know, but I still like him.
That man would tell me and you that. He say to you, excuse me, but I do not understand a word what you say. I mean, Jacob Rees-Mogg, are you winding me up?
I know, but don't you see though? This is what they do. No, but don't you? Right? Don't you see though? This is what they do so that we don't get involved. So they have power over us. Or you don't speak our language, so you can't comment. Or you're not good enough to do it. No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
No, I totally with you, dude.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that. The divide and rule. There's someone who speaks this way, aristocrat. I know exactly what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, I know the guy got it. I studied this manual. I eat and drink politics, right? And I'm telling you, this guy, forget that, he doesn't wind up. Look, who's the press leader? Who's the first prime minister who Britain never had? I don't know. I want to hear what you say, John.
I don't know.
I would have been good. Yes, he would have been a great leader. Arthur Scargill. That's before your time again.
Yeah, but he wasn't a member of the elite. He's just a working class.
Union. No, but I'm saying that if those guys was able to make a transition from the mining all the way to the top, he would have been a great leader.
I probably would have thought so. Yeah, working class.
Yeah, he's a working class leader. See, Britain needs, right? Whether they're black, whether the next prime minister, the prime minister who's going to take Britain to the 21st century has to be from one of the poorest background. Now, Richie Sunak, he could be that guy. I'll tell you why. You're making a serious mistake when you're looking at an Asian man, whether he married to a millionaire or not, and he thinks that an Asian man, one thing an Asian man was born with was born in poverty. There's no Asian family who will tell you that we was born in on money. None of them. Because if you trace back Richie Sunak family, probably one generation, they will say, and you go back to his house in India or whoever, there's about 60 people living in one room still.
Yeah, there is. He wasn't. I know, but I still don't like the way that he's married into that much power and money. And all power and money does is corrupt people.
No, I don't think it does. Not everybody, John. Not everybody, right?
All right.
That gains money is corrupted, you know?
Well, they're not showing us that in the UK right now. Everywhere I look, all our politicians who have money and that are just screwing us over. That's what I see right now. And that's what scares me about him becoming...
The politicians with money, all right, you see that them people, like, as you said, you're right, because them people with money, government people, right, they're groomed. If you look at old photos of old Etonians, Boris, Cameron, all of them in the same picture when they was at uni. And so you got to you don't look at them, you look at their parents and their grandparents. Right? They all come from the same stock. You're never going to... How are we going to change that dynamic of the working class overtaking the middle class, the elite? Because they are groomed for power, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm in politics now. Big John's in politics. I'm working class. I don't speak with all the P's and Q's. I will do as much as I can possibly. And because I'm getting into politics, I can be, or I could be, in the future, the next Prime Minister of England. And, you know, that's how I want to...
You see, if you look at... Do you think Tommy Robinson could have been the next Prime Minister of England?
No. No.
If they got the EDL into a political party with all the momentum, how Britain was going, the direction. I mean, all right, look at UKIP, for example. Look at Nigel Farage. He got the votes to change the status quo. But for, you saw that, yeah? He achieved, Nigel Farage, he's left, whatever people say about him, that man's left his legacy a long time after he died.
Yeah.
He is single-handedly responsible for Brexit. Right? He's the one who changed it. He started a party for the sole purpose was to dethrone the whole Brexit thing.
Yeah, but I mean, but hang on. There's another way I think about this. In around the 2000, late 90s, the BNP got 100 councillors and 3 or 4 MEPs. That was so frightening to our establishment, they had to do something. They made UKIP, which split the BNP right down the middle, took loads of people off them because they were more liberal, and then they branded the BNP racist. They tried every trick in the book to make them sound like the enemy so people wouldn't vote for them because they're scared. They're scared of the working class, they're scared of me and you coming into power.
Well, I think, everyone's scared of people like me and you coming into power, but one day, the people from outside of the Westminster bubble they will cause enough noise to be a party. There will be a party coming within the next 10 years to upset to split that whole Labour, Conservative and Liberal shit. There will be a party, a new party is going to come in and split that.
Yeah, that's going to be me. That's going to be Big John's NHP UK.
Well, if you look now, I saw on the poll today, John, right? 90% of people would not vote for Keir Starmer. 90% of people would not vote for Keir Starmer in the UK. 90%. That's a lot, isn't it?
It is.
And Sky TV done that. Sky News done that poll today. They said 90%. So Keir Starmer, what's the point of him being there? He's just fucking up the Labour Party. Tell me something. When you was young, who did your parents vote for?
Labour.
And so you was told to vote for Labour when you were growing up, innit?
Well, I wasn't told, but I was taught.
That Labour represented the working class, right?
Yes.
But Tony Blair was the one who changed that.
Oh, very much so.
Right. So now, me and you, we have to put. Why don't me and you try? I'll give you an example. This is a nice question, right? Exactly like why you started your own party is exactly why I started my own.
Right. Yeah.
Why? Because why didn't me and you want to join Labour when we was both brought up on that ideology of Labour? Vote Labour, boy. Well, Labour's the working class. Vote Labour. Vote Labour. That's what we was brought up. But yet still, me and you, we don't want to be Labour MPs. We don't want to vote. We don't want to represent Labour. See?
Yeah, the Labour don't represent the working class now.
Because Tony Blair made Labour a conservative party.
Well, maybe not too much conservative values, but yeah, maybe on the same lines, yeah.
Hold on. Who did Tony Blair's father-in-law vote for?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know Tony Blair's father-in-law?
Is he a conservative voter by any chance?
His name is Tony Booth.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one who got Tony Blair into fucking politics. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Tony Booth, the actor. What was he? Rising Duck and all that, was he?
Yeah, but he's a thingy, isn't he? He's, Tony Blair was bred for that position, and he certainly is a puppet for the masters, whoever the masters are.
I'll tell you who would have made a good leader now. It's Piers Corbyn.
Piers Corbyn. Well, I mean, I'm not too much into Piers. I've seen him a few times. I've seen what he's about and stuff like that. But did you ever see that thing where he took that £10,000? No. Well, so some tricksters, they set him up and they got him. They recorded it all. They wanted him to not talk about Pfizer vaccine, and offered him 10 grand, and he took the. He got shown £10,000, then took the envelope afterwards.
Wow.
So money corrupts. That kind of power corrupts, and he's somebody who went down the wrong road. I've just got to stay true and not take that corruption.
Yeah, but you see, it's hard. It's hard for somebody to corrupt you or try to bribe you, because what they try to do, they can't make you go against your principles. Nobody could buy you, John, and pay you to go against your principles. You know what I mean? They can't. Because it's like me. No one could buy me and make me go against my principles. You can't buy that. Well, it's the truth, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
you're meant to die for your principles, you know.
I mean, I support, if it's all about children, me, our kids are our next generation. If we're going to ever have a country back, they need to be taught, brought up correctly. We need our family units back. So it's a major thing with us. And my family is a family. All my nephews, every single one of them, I've took to the swimming baths. I've learned them lessons they need, you know, for the for growing up. I've you know, and stuff like that. And it's one of my primary things in everything, you know what I mean? And nobody's going to say to me, well, listen, start thinking about something else that's nothing to do with Britain rather than your children. And no, sorry, pal, I won't. I want to concentrate on my families and our children and bring them up right and stuff like that. That's what I want to do. And
well, that's the future. That's you see, John, because I'll tell you why you like that, because that's how me and you we was nurtured that way. We was nurtured that when we was little boy running around with little shots, the elders was always making us think about the next generation same way, because they was nurturing us. They was nurturing us to that's why they was looking out for us.
Yeah, to look after our families. That's what really important lessons we got learned.
That's what they made us. That's how we all grew up in our generation. It's family first, everything after.
Yeah.
You know, so it's protecting that next generation. That because you lot are the future. That's what we were told.
Yeah.
Growing up. So that generation now, you know, all the war veterans, them soon dead and finished and gone. So we see, when me and you, people like us now, are all 70 years old in them age there. All them all war veterans who you're saluting now, they're all washed up pushing daisies.
Yeah.
We the war veterans then, John.
Yeah.
We be regarded as the war veterans, you hear me? But they say, oh, but you never fought in the war. We are talking about. I said to them, what are you talking about? We fought in the war in Britain to get our country back. Of course we fought in a war. Right. Here's the war right there. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm getting to. Because they're saying that me and you, we never get drafted to World War I, World War II, and all them thing there. So they say, all right, but so that generation who did do that, who died for us, for our liberty to be here today, when they dead and gone, we are looked on as the war veterans. And this is our war. Our war now is for the perseverance of this country.
Yeah.
And the next generation, and not the next generation, but the generations to come.
Yeah.
Okay? Because forget about this generation. We have to save the unborn babies, brother. You know, that's one of the most ODB from Wu-Tang Clan. That's one of his famous quotes. I'm about the old unborn babies. He's all about the kids. But he was about the unborn babies. That's what we got to look for. Because this generation now is already fucked. You dig?
Yeah,
when we talk about saving this generation, forget that, bro. You got to think about saving the babies in the mother's wombs right now. With the girls who are going to maternity, the people are going into labor. Because these are the babies now that's going to be 15 in 15 years' time. And we have to stop that mindset from having the mindset what these 15-year-olds and 12-year-olds have now. So that's what we're looking at, John. We're looking at the unborn baby. Forget this generation now. Then finish. Them is big serial killer. And when me and you was young, you would never think that when you reach 50 years old, you'd be thinking, boy, them youths on the streets are serial killers, you know?
I know,
right?
You wouldn't. And honestly, I never thought that, man. I never thought that when I get older, I never thought it'd be like that. You know, it's just sad, but I mean, why is it like that? What we're doing, are we bringing them up properly?
I'll tell you why it's like that. Why it's like that? Because there's only a handful of people, John, who was brought up street-wise. Most of Britain was brought up in an obscure life away from the blood-clot street.
Yeah.
So they never see it coming. But people like me and you, Johnny boy, who did it in this life on the street from when we're young, we saw it coming years ago. Yeah. And when we were trying to tell them, they wasn't listening.
Yeah.
But now they're seeing it. Because before, John, they used to think that, you see this gang culture, they used to think it's only attributed to London, Moss Side, Handsworth. Now it's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
They used to only think, it's only London and Moss Side. That's the gangbangers in Britain. That's why they call it Manchester.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? And that's why they call it, what they call Nottingham again. What they call Nottingham? They call Nottingham, I can't even remember.
But just 1 minute, 5T3, you wrote a comment saying he started talking black. The guy is black. He's a Rastafarian man, and he is black.
No, but it's all about love. Tell him, look, we could talk. We're born in England, right? We could talk all different ways, even though we're born black. But you deal with Scottish, you deal with Irish, you deal with Wales. Yeah, guys, there's England, Scottish, Ireland, and Wales, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's why I have toured England extensively. England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. But there's a lot of white people who say the English or the Scottish or the Ireland or Welsh, and they haven't been to all four. But have you been to all four, John?
Yeah.
Right, man like Big John, right? Has been to all four like me. Man like, and when I go to all four, I don't go to your major cities like Cardiff in Wales, Glasgow in Scotland, Dublin in Ireland, London I go to tiny little villages in Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, where there's no black man. I'm the first black man that they ever seen except the Aberdeen Fast or EastEnders or to see Lady Henry on TV. And they see you in the flesh. And it's a beautiful feeling now. Because this is what is meant to be England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And I'm knee deep in history. I love history. So I love to deal with the Scottish history. You have to remember, when you deal with Scottish history, you deal with Macbeth. See? When you deal with Irish history, you deal with lots of different things now.
No, well, I'm the same. I like my history, and Arlene will tell you. As soon as I got to Inverness, I started to research, looking into stuff, looking into the buildings around the place, looking into the history of the buildings, the Weatherspoons, the King's Arms.
What did you say, Inverness?
Inverness, yeah. The King.
Right. I had a client in Inverness in the Highland Mines.
Yeah.
I had a client.
Listen. The King's Arms, the Weatherspoons in Inverness, the building next door. Its claim to fame was that the landlady of that hotel had 3 sons of 3 kings of Scotland stay at her hotel.
3 sons of 3 kings.
Yeah, 3 sons of 3 different kings of Scotland have stayed at this. Well, it's a hotel. Well, it's not a hotel now, but it was a place where the royalty and the prominent people stayed, and she had. But there's so much history in Scotland; it's unbelievable.
That she was a woman. Who was she?
I can't remember her name. I'd have to do a bit of research.
So
But
3 sons stayed at her what?
Pardon?
3. You said 3 sons of
3 kings of Scotland.
Stayed at her what?
Her hotel or
Was it
inn.
like a massage? Was it like a massage parlor she was running?
No, it was an inn.
The 3 sons stayed at her place. What did she have? 3 sons stayed at her place. What was she doing? Did she have a
No,
massage or
she was. Listen, she was an influential, rich person in Inverness.
Okay. Was she?
Yeah.
Was she a sort? Was she like? Was she single?
No, it was a family. It was a family. I can't remember the name of the family, but it was a family. Because when you go in Wetherspoons, you have plaques up, don't they, about the area, about the history of the area. That's one of the things that Wetherspoons do, if anyone knows. So when you go in Wetherspoons,
is Wetherspoons your place?
Yeah, it is our place.
Oh, no, because you know what? The only time I don't go in Wetherspoons, I'm not gonna lie. There's like a Wetherspoons like near the one bookie I used to go and I pop in there now. I think once now and then, you know what I mean? Because I'm a man, I'm very obscure. But Wetherspoons are right though. I like the vibe.
Yeah.
Wetherspoons are right. Do they do food in Wetherspoons?
Of course you do, yeah. They do a lot of meals and they do them at a very good value price.
What do T-bone steak?
You get the mixed grill. I don't think it's got a T-bone steak, but they do. I think they do. Some of them will do a T-bone steak.
I could see Big John liking a T-bone steak.
And let me tell you more about the Wetherspoons in Inverness King's Arms. Is that it's only one of 3 Wetherspoons in the entire British Isles that has a hotel connected to it.
Oh, so you and Ollie say that?
Yeah, we have done. And Arlene will tell you that the morning was it a Christmas morning? Christmas morning, I was outside counting how many churches and religious buildings were in Inverness.
And how much was it?
Well, within sight of the bridge, there was 10 holy buildings within sight of the bridge.
Wow! Did you go to church? You went to church?
We didn't, did we? We didn't go to church up there. We didn't go to church, but they had a pride parade in 2018. And
did you join in? Did you join in?
I went to the pride parade, and there was 2 things. The gay pride, yeah. Now I went filming. Why did you go to the gay?
Hold on, John. I have to. Why did you go to the gay pride parade?
Because I was filming. And
so you're filming the gays?
I filmed the gay pride parade, and I also filmed the Christians who were protesting against it.
But why did you were interviewing gays?
Well, yeah, bisexuals, gays, whatever. I talked to a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Has a gay person ever come on to you before?
Pardon?
Has a gay man ever come on to you before?
No.
Has a gay man ever gave you a compliment?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Nicely dressed.
Is that all?
It's a few years ago. I probably might have said a couple of more things, but nicely dressed was one of them.
Well, a gay man said what?
Right. Anyway, listen. I went to the gay pride parade because it was the first in Inverness. I wanted to go and speak to the people who was protesting against it, which was Christians, and I wanted to speak to the people in the parade to see what they thought of the Christians who were protesting against them. Yeah, so I talked to a lot of people. I met a black guy in the gay pride parade, and I said he was from Africa, and I said, "Don't Africans treat people who are LGBT with violence? And he said, yeah, they do in some African countries. It's not accepted. These are the kind of things I wanted to talk about with people. And also, Arlene had about 500 Justice for Our Boys flyers. Yeah. And we went round talking to families, children, explaining more about the case, saying what had gone on, saying about the cover-up of Tracy's case. Yeah, and then got them to give them the flyers, and on the flyers I had links to Tracy's videos, Tracy's YouTube channel, Justice for Our Boys channel. I had links to that, and talked to people about the case. One woman said, how come you know so much about the case? Said, because that's the kind of thing to do. I want to know about unaccountability. I want to know about our children being killed on the streets. I want to know why it's happening. I want to know why there's kids stabbing each other all across the country. It's Scotland, Manchester, London, Birmingham. I want to know why our youth are coming up violent and why little kids are stabbing it. These are all the kind of things I talk to people at the Pride Parade about. Yeah. And so at one point in the parade, we've been talking about Tracy's case, and obviously it involves people of a different ethnicity other than England. Yeah. And when I walked away from Arlene, some guy had come over, shouted racist at Arlene, then run off when I come back. He went on about the case that Arlene was talking about, and called her racist and all that because it involved someone of a different colour. He'd not heard nothing. The guy had been ignorant and he didn't know nothing about the police cover-up or anything like that. I just went on about the ethnicity of the guy.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went up, and it was just me and Arlene on our own, and there was a preacher who was stood with the people in the Gay Pride Parade. Yet there was Christians and other preachers and ministers who were against it. So I went straight up to the guy who was marching with the Gay Pride Parade, and he was a minister, you know, he had a white collar. I went up to him and I talked to him, and he was stood with all the top notches and all the councillors and all that in Inverness. So I sort of like got really out there, you know, and talked to him. And I said to this guy, I said, how come you're here when your other ministers are over there protesting against you? And they said that the book, the Christian book, doesn't say that doesn't agree with LGBT. These are the questions I asked him. You know, really difficult questions. So that's what I went to the demo for. I'm interested in any demo, no matter what it's about. I've talked to nurses about the NHS. I've talked to veterans I've talked to families whose veterans' sons have been killed in war. I've talked to people about housing. I've talked to people about the kids being raped by the local.
It's very admirable that you're talking to the people, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, it's great. Do you like Inverness?
I love it. I think it's a beautiful city. I like Scotland.
You think you can live in Inverness? You're in Arlene because you lived there.
No.
Why not?
It's too far away from everything else.
How about if you're like 75, 80 years old, John? Are you ready to put on your slippers?
What with that?
How about if you're like 75 years old, 80 years old, could you live there?
Yeah, I could, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You see, that's how I feel about living out on the farm shit. I can live out there like when I'm ready to pick up, you know, push up daisies and shit.
Well, you should come to Bath when we go to the PTSD camp one time. You should come up there, bring the.
I go down to Bath a lot because you know, the guy called Haile Selassie, they got a museum in Bath on him.
Ah, yeah, Haile Selassie, yeah.
They got a museum there on him. But what was I saying, John? So what do you think, you need to do to get into? Where do you want your party to go into? Do you want your party to go into a house of do you want your Do you want to go into the House of Commons, House of Parliament?
Of course I do. Of course I do. But before that, you don't need to be a member of Parliament to influence the government to do something.
Right. What
Yeah.
I'm saying, you know when you speak to all these people, because you said I love speaking to all different people, right?
Yeah.
Now you've gone down on the grassroots, you've gone on the gay pride, you've gone on all these different marching. Now you seem that can't make a change, right?
No.
Right. To make a change, you need to be speaking to. You need to be, as I said, in Prime Minister's question time, and you need to be in the opposition, like Keir Starmer,
Yeah.
Like having it out with the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where I need to be. That's why I'm never ever gonna want protest. Why? Because the people who's there, they can't make one bit of difference to what I want to achieve.
Yeah, I agree.
What I want to achieve, the only person who's ready to debate with me is you, the one in power. Because the one in power, I want to get to where you are. I want to get to your seat. Now, why is Boris Johnson the Prime Minister of this country and not true for the rights? What right? That's what you got to look at. How old is he? How old am I? What is his background? What color is he? What am I? That is just blatant. He's white, I'm black, I'm from poor background, he's from privileged background, that's it. But if I was David Lammy, would I still be able to get to Prime Minister before Boris Johnson? Hell no. Because there's a thing called white privilege, whether you like it or lump it. What do you think about that? Listen to this. Richie Sunak don't have a chance in hell.
I think, well, it's in the list. It's in the list, and I don't know the rules.
Let me help you and all your followers now. Okay, about class and about color. Let me show you this now. Andrew Burnham, your mayor, is from a working class. He likes to pride himself, right? Right. You say Richie Sunak is from money and he's Asian. What you know about blood clot, white privilege? Andrew Burnham would be Prime Minister of the UK before the Asian ever.
Do you reckon?
Well, listen, it's called white privilege.
I don't think he's in the run. Is he in the running? Is it? Hang on a minute. Is Andy Burnham in the running to be Labour leader?
Whether he's in the running, I'm giving you a prime example. Whether somebody of the ilk of Andrew Burnham, right, would always make it before somebody, an Asian of class privilege, so-called class privilege. Okay, because I'm going to tell you this now, my brother. An Asian doesn't have so class privilege in the UK. Not only to a certain extent, and it falls on a brick wall after that. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, listen, there is. You're right. There is.
I tell you this now, brother. I know the top elite Asians in this country who live in £10 million houses, and they will tell you this, brother. When I came on this road, every white resident petitioned for my family for me to come here. Every white aristocrat resident. You get tongue-tied now.
No, there is somewhere. I'll try and find it. There is somewhere. There is somewhere.
I'll bring you to London with all the 35, 50 million pound houses.
You're missing me. There is somewhere. Someone's told me that a prime minister cannot be ethnically not English or really. But I'll have to look into it. I just don't know. But in the media, Sunad is in the running along with Jill, Liz Truss to be leader of the Conservative Party. Now, if one of them becomes leader of the Conservative Party, does that mean they become Prime Minister, or do they have to have an election to get another Prime Minister?
Brethren, I'm going to tell you this now, John. You have got more chance. You have got the same chance of Richie Sunak, me and you. I've got the exact same chance of Richie Sunak being Prime Minister of the UK. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, if Richie Sunak becomes Conservative leader, does that mean he becomes Prime Minister, or do they have to have another vote? Can you tell me that?
Okay, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Right.
Because there was one leader who was not Prime Minister recently, wasn't it? It was the one before Theresa May. Hold on.
David Cameron?
No, Cameron was Prime Minister.
Yeah.
There was somebody in like an interim, wasn't there? I'm sure. Just before Theresa May. And it was leader, but it wasn't Prime Minister. I'm sure of it. It might be for a couple of weeks, you know. I'm sure of it. We'll have to look into it. But you can be the leader of concern. Yeah, you can. You can. Britain has run like that. But it was decades and decades ago.
Right. I'm not 100% sure of the way it goes. I'll try and look into that.
Rishi Sunak would never. England and don't have that kind of manpower. They don't have that. The Asians don't have that vote. The Asians don't have that kind of vote power to put for Rishi Sunak in there. Do you think they do? You think they do or what?
Mm-hmm.
You think there's more Asians than white people in England?
No, as a records, and they don't have that vote power yet.
No, they don't. But if they keep letting in all the borders, they will.
If they open all the borders, they certainly will. Yeah, nobody's going to deny that is absolutely 100,000% correct. Yeah.
But do you think that someone like? Do you remember? I tell you. Do you remember an MP, a mixed race guy called Paul Bolton?
Oh.
He was an MP for Labour and also Brent, and he was a barrister. Paul Bolton talked very posh, Guyanese, I believe.
I think I remember. I don't know personally about him.
But you see, because I'm in the politics before, do you remember an MP? The white supremacist media used to like to label him called Bernie Grant.
Bernie Grant.
Yes.
Black guy Bernie Grant.
That's right, for Labour. That's right.
Oh yeah, he's been up before my days. I don't know a lot about him.
That's what I'm saying to you. See, was very instrumental in Born of Babylon in the UK.
Yeah.
Which we had last year.
Yeah.
It was his mentor who had that. The guy who was his mentor, he's the one who held that exhibition. So that, you know, but Bernie Grant, he did a lot. He left his legacy in the UK. You know, he was very good. He was very instrumental, very outspoken in the Tottenham riots.
Yeah, I remember. My dad talked about Bernie, and I think my old man met him.
His famous quote was, "The police got a very good hiding that night." They got what they've been dishing out on the community.
Yeah, I remember. My dad talked about Bernie. I think he met him a few times as well.
How was it growing up in your area? How was it growing up? Was there any much police brutality, like when you were getting stopped and shit? When you
yeah, I mean, stop and search. There's nothing like it is in London or anything like that. And myself particularly, I did experience a bit of police brutality, but I can't say that I was being a nice person at the time.
Would you ever say that you was being harshly treated because of your race?
No.
You would never say that.
Not like I've seen what they're like in London. Nothing on that kind of scale.
You said that you said that you went to Speaker's Corner, right?
Yeah.
How much times have you been?
About 4 times, 5 times.
The first time you went, how did you find it? What was your experience like? Come on.
I walked in with Red Pill Phil, and I shouted at the top of my voice, "West Indians, get your grandmas out and let's get the jihadis in."
Get your grandmother out?
Yeah, and get the jihadis in because of the Windrush.
Right.
I come into Speaker's Corner with Phil next to me, and that's what I shouted at the top of my voice.
You're a bad man, John. You're a bad man, John.
Honestly, I did. But let's just get to Windrush. Let's look at Windrush a little bit now.
You told me about you as a man, as a brother who's from Oldham, and you've gone on enough protests before. When you went, and you must have seen Speaker's Corner on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So when you went down there, John, you was prepared, so you shouted at the top of your voice. Who was out there? The usual suspects, or they all the aspects and all that?
They might have been. I don't remember who the time, but there was a lot.
I made a couple of videos of all them guys at Speaker's Corner. I said, oh man. And you know what I did? When I made the video, when I was on the next channel, I made some videos. Bro, some Muslim channel took my video and they put it on some Muslim thing, and I goes, the next minute I see some link, I goes, bro, take that video. I'm not no Muslim, bro, because I'm talking against the Muslims. I'm talking, it wasn't even a Muslim, it was some kind of site who's against Muslims, but it was some like next Asian site, Sikhs or Hindus or something, and they liked what they were hearing, right? Millions of views, and I go, bro, take it down. I don't want to be like, I'm not on nobody's side. I'm just an independent. You dig? I don't want to think that. I don't want people to think I'm some sort of member of your fucking clan shit. You dig? I don't want people to think that. I'm an independent. I got my own views. It's like, say why I'm chopping out for you, John. I got my own views. I don't belong to no idiot. You know what I'm saying?
I want to go to Speaker's Corner again, and I want to do a speak. I want to talk and debate with people.
Yeah, but I think people are too violent. Man, I'm going on there, bro. I used to play football and drink champagne and do my madness down there. Me and my brethren. What I'm talking about before it was Speaker's Corner, before it was all this jihad thing, 30 years ago. Brother, I wouldn't go, 40 people, they attacked a Christian woman and nearly kill her. They nearly kill a Christian woman down there.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
I'm not going down. What for? These people would murder someone down there one day. See, no, I'm not. Them place there, John. I tell you, John. Come, me check for you. Don't go down there, sir, brethren.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to be. I know, no, but the.
Listen to me, John. I know that place on the back of my hand. From Marleybone, Louis, and all that stuff. Listen, bro. That's a Muslim stronghold. They will murder you and get away with it. Don't bother go there, sir.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go down and rant on about Islam. I'm not gonna go down and denounce religions. I have a low opinion of religion anyway. But what I'd go down and debate things like political correctness.
Yeah, but they're not on that. John, these guys down there, they're on some hype, sensational shit, man. Them man they come like some G artists people, them, all of them. There's some too much people looking some hype up there, John. And that place there, John, is not for people like me and you. People in their 50s, people who want to live. That place is for some young youth. Them things there, you see people gang. Are you crazy? Bro, no, that. John, the people is gang, John. Yeah, hear me, John. Me and you are big people. We're grandfather, whether you have grandchildren or not, you have your grandfather age. And then people, they're young pitney, and they're on gang. You would talk, and they would, John, you would talk, right? And as you said, I know the way you talk. I observe you for years. I don't be talking of you. John, they're on no peace of love business. Them guys will say, oh, that's ignorant, John. I mean, you're the man. You don't see your followers are nice, family people and everything like
No, well, I don't care. Listen. You remember you said about taking away our things. Speaker's Corner is for everyone to speak and everyone should be treated equally. If they can't take it, if them can't take me talking about political correctness or talking about violence or knife crime, then they're not going to be there. In my party, they'd all be ejected.
I'm going to help you right now. You want to come like Jesus, like me. When they're slaying Jesus, the whole world was looking. If I go to Speaker's Corner, there's only a handful of people who's looking when I'm getting beheaded. When I'll go to Speaker's Corner, I get beheaded. When I take on when I take on the might of Islam, I make sure the whole world is looking when they behead me. So everyone can say, fuck me, that is Jesus. No. I want at least 100 million people. Televise every camera on my head top. And then some crazy G-Art can come and behead me then. For everything I say against them. Yeah. I want to make sure that every camera is on me. Speaker's Corner don't have enough cameras, John. The man's going to behead John Lawrence. And they're going to put it on their social media and share it. And there's a couple man going to see John Lawrence on me getting beheaded, Trooper Rice getting 10, 15 man in Marleybone. Fuck off, man. I want the whole of Palestine, the whole of every Taliban, I want every Ayatollah, I want everybody to see that say, yeah, he spoke, and when he came, some crazy Muslim came and beheaded him for speaking the truth. Because I'm like you, I don't say nothing about the Quran. I've never read it. I don't say nothing. All I say is this. Why do you pray behind another man's bottom? And you say you don't give homophobic, homosexuality tendencies. No. You see, people like John Lawrence, I laugh, but we and the professors, we look on, why are you seeking? When you pray, when you bend down, you're praying in front of another man.
Yeah.
Bottom. It's not a female enough.
Yeah.
Because, listen, me, I'm not going to lie, my favorite position is a backshot thing in a female. Right? No, listen, not good enough. Me like, every black man knows that we like a backshot thing.
Yeah.
Right? Big man thing, backshot thing we like, we dip on it. Doggy style.
Yeah.
You dip on this thing and you pray a doggy style in front of man's bottom.
Yeah.
And then after that now, guess what he does? When after he finished praying, he's coming and going, he want to kiss you, and he says, you're my brother. And he's kissing me 20,000. I never get kissed more than that. I'm going to tell you something, John. I have never been kissed by a girl more than a Muslim man kissed me on both cheeks in my life. Muslim man kissed me 20 times, 10 times on each cheek. And then Virgin, stop, now what go on? Because Virgin, I'm Muslim now. I said, hold on. Virgin, what go on with this religion thing, Virgin? What you see? You're too touchy-feely, bro. I'm not doing this touchy-feely thing. When I knew you, you was not, before you convert, you was not on this touchy-feely, you was not kissing me like that, bro. You never kissed me once in your life, right? But now he converted, John. He won't be touchy-feely. He won't kiss me. Only for time more than my girl kiss me. May I tell him?
Yeah, I know, but listen, they'll just say it's how they show love to everyone and stuff like that.
But if you reckon that you
No, that's what they might say. That's what they might say, you know, I don't care, me. I don't care. I just think that.
We don't care for Man City 29.
No. I just think that some cultures cannot live side by side with other cultures, and Islam is one of them cultures that does not sit side by side with Christianity.
1 second, John. I can pull you up. No. John, me, how old do you know?
54.
John, when me and you was young, I mean, you like a boy, right?
Yeah.
How come Islam was living side by side with us and nothing was wrong? Tell me.
Because there wasn't a lot of them.
You sure?
Yeah. And as they grew in Britain, they obtained more power, more influence, and stuff like that.
So when me and you was young, who was there a lot of then? If there was not a lot of, when there was a lot of Asians in England, right? There was a lot of Asians. Was there a lot of Asians when me and you was young? Was there a lot of Asians in England in the 70s? John?
No, were there Eckers?
I'm gonna help you know. Me, I can help you. There wasn't, right? There was not, yeah?
Yeah, it was not.
And if there was, what was their surname, John? Come, let's see the realness. What was their surname? The Patels.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
John, is the Patels
Sings.
Islamic name, yes or no?
No, is it not an Indian name?
Listen to me, the Patel is not Islamic. The Patel is India.
India, I just said Indian.
Right,
Indian.
free the realness now. Watch ya. My best friend, his name was Dilip Patel.
Yeah.
Let me help you. In 1977, I is in Alston, and we're 7.
Yeah.
So we're schooling the masses now. People in England, the biggest thing was of the Asians was not Islam, it was the Patels.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Patels, because in India, your surname, it carries the thing like in Africa and then places then.
Yeah.
Right? So the surname was the Patel when me and John Lawrence was young. That was the dominating Asian surname. You heard it everywhere.
Yeah.
What's his name? Patel. This one name Patel. Patel. But the Patel was like the Khans.
Yeah.
The Khans came later.
Right? Sings, Patel and Sings.
The Patel and Singh. The Singh is the Sikh. The Patel is more like the Hindu thing.
Hindu, yeah.
Right. So when we was young, how you differentiate a Hindu was they had a thing on their forehead, didn't it, John?
Yeah, most did, yeah.
The Hindu had a red thing on their forehead.
Yeah.
And so that's how you knew. When I was young, the Sikh little boy never had a top knot on his head.
Yeah.
They just went to school with their bare hair.
Yeah.
The top knot came in my son's generation. In my children's generation, the Sikh youth started to wear their top knot.
Yeah.
All right then. So you have the Patels was the ruling elite Asians. So when me and John was young, there was hardly any Asians in England. But if there wasn't Muslims.
Yeah, there were Patel and Singhs. Yeah, definitely.
And there was Singhs. So me and John, we never grow like how you lot are growing with this Muslim domination. What's the truth of it, John?
You know what, you're right. It is the truth, yeah.
And that is why England was still recognizable when me and John was young as the white man's land.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Now, when I talk about the white man's land, my people, we're talking about England was white, and then all the English football team, if you look at 1966 World Cup, when England won the World Cup, every football player was white. After that, they started to integrate and you started to get black players, like Big John Lawrence. Who was the first black player who played for Oldham Athletic, John?
Roger Palmer.
All right, then. So when people talk about John Lawrence now, it's some kind of fascist EDL boy. Listen, let me teach you the history why and I taught this brother. It's the first time me and him talk on the phone. That's one of the first things he told me was the first black player who played for Oldham was Roger Palmer. How would he know that, my people, if that's an EDL brother? Just tell me that. An EDL brother wouldn't even want to know that. He wouldn't even want to acknowledge that. I'm telling you that now. And he was proud to know that Roger Palmer his history as well. And Oldham had some great football team.
I don't think he might have not been the first black player, but he was certainly the most famous black player. He scored goals. He was consistent in his match play and stuff like that.
Now, let me touch on something a little bit. What do you think, you personally, John, growing up and seeing the racism in football, when I hear John Barnes talk, first of all, what do you think of John Barnes?
Well, I mean, I don't like how he's gone on board with everything, but back in the day, he wouldn't have been able to say anything, would he? He wouldn't have been able to speak out.
John Barnes, I believe it. Right. My thing on racism in football is this. Racism in football is this, yeah? Is the black footballers that John Barnes, if they did what we was doing on the street, standing up to racism, fighting, rioting, protesting, doing all we were standing up to racism while they were turning a blind eye to it. 30 years later, when the young boys are saying we're not, when the young boys nowadays, the young footballers, they're doing what these lot should have done, John. They're making a stand about it.
Yeah.
Them lot didn't do that. And I think that's what made it carry on, John. That's my
Right,
opinion.
yeah, I get you. I get you.
I think if they not made a stance, like the way when they were suffering racism on the pitch, right? We were suffering racism on the street. And these black stupid footballers in England, they never made a stance. But Muhammad Ali, he made a stance. And you got some people like that. He was your role model. If I was a black footballer them days, and I look at Muhammad Ali, I would have thought that would have given me strength to make a start.
Yeah, but what about when he? Well, I understand what you're saying, but what about when he turned to Islam? He said he denounced LGBT. He said that these people should be killed and stuff like that. Now, even though I don't agree with Islam, I don't want anyone. Even though I don't agree with LGBT, yeah, I don't want people being killed because they're different.
Right. And I totally agree. But as I said, like the other day, you looked at my Jack Johnson thing, and
yeah,
Ali had a lot of flaws. Muhammad Ali had a lot of flaws. I mean, the black people, they take him as a hero, and I said I don't, because he mimicked the people who was darker than him. The evidence is all his women was all very light like him. He didn't go with a darker woman.
Yeah.
He didn't interbreed with a darker woman. All his women are basically like mixed race, John.
Right. Yeah.
And all he did was ridicule the darker man, John.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the black race holds him in such high esteem.
Yeah. But I think a lot of that was influence off other people.
That was mostly one thing, Vietnam.
Yeah.
The stance he took in Vietnam. But there was a boxer before him, Joe Louis.
Yeah, Lewis.
Now, Joe Louis it was terrible with Louis. I felt very sorry for Louis. I mean, he's revealed as enough. He was a great boxer. Great boxer. Do you know much about him?
No, I don't, but I have heard of his name. I know a little bit of stuff.
Tell me some of your heroes, John. Who are some of Big John Lawrence heroes? We don't know much about Big John Lawrence heroes. Come on, give me some of your
Right. Well, one of my heroes was Alan Shearer, football.
You said that. That's really fucking wanker. Go on.
Yeah, because he's
you said that. Now that would raise an eye shit, because I've always looked at that cunt as a little racist cunt.
No, working class is nothing like that. But why? Because he was my age, and I think he come either to. Well, it was just at the time he was the one. There was he came to either Oldham or Manchester as a youth player.
Why not Andy Cole?
Because I don't think he ever came up to to Oldham or anything. I think Andy Shearer.
Andrew Cole is a fucking don, Corbin. Andrew Cole came from Newcastle and scored millions of goals.
No, but I mean, the connection with
Andrew
Alan
Cole
Shearer
is
is
a
how old is Cole? How old is Cole?
He's basically the same age as Shearer, same era. Now, Andrew Cole in the trouble with Man United with Ferguson was like regarded as the Busby Babes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know my football inside out. Now, I looked on Alan Shearer as always a horrible cunt, a big-headed.
No, nothing like that.
That's you. Hold on, that's you. That's your. It's a matter of opinions, right? You see, Alan Shearer is your hero, yeah.
He was at the time, yeah.
Right. I'm gonna give you my hero. I'm gonna give you a counteraction to that now.
Go on.
My hero, my football hero, white hero, who would blast him is George Best.
Classic, man. But it wasn't in my era. It's before my era.
I'll tell you why. Because of what he stood for, opposed to what Alan Shearer stood for. I would go for George Best. George Best is my kind of caliber.
Well, in the all-time greats, George Best is one of them. I'm not doubting that. I'm not. But that was before my. That was before my time. George Best was way before my time.
Well, it was before my time too. But what I'm saying is the character of the man.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If someone my time, opposed to Alan Shearer, now I'll give you a white guy who's better opposed to Alan Shearer. So I will give you
Matt Le Tissier, good player, yeah.
Through that one to keep you quiet.
I'm googling him up actually, Matt Le Tissier.
I'll give you Robbie Fowler, the prowler.
Another good player, Robbie Fowler.
Yeah, Robbie Fowler, working man's boy. You know, Liverpool youth.
Right, but let me talk about the FA. Right now, you talked about black people back in the day. Now let's look at the power of the FA. Right, there was the paedophile Barry Bennell. Yeah, and
are you talking about the FA, the Football Association?
Football Association.
Okay, can I just tell you something before you go any further? I'm going to shout out to my friend, a good friend of mine, his name is Brendan Batson, who I believe should have been the head of the FA after Bert Millership passed. His name was Brendan Batson, the first black man to be on the FA panel. He was part of the 3 degrees to the white supremacy, racially named a name. Laurie Cunningham, Cyril Regis, and Brendan Batson.
Right, yeah, Brendan. I remember Brendan.
Ron Atkinson's West Bromwich Albion. Now, if you look at his background and look at his Grenadian heritage, the first Grenadian this and everything,
yeah.
He was the first black man to do a lot of shit, but to do with the FA. And he should have been, John, because of the whole of the racism. Look at his track record. That guy was clean cut.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I have to agree.
Very much like how my guy got treated at. Oh fuck! What's his name? Was it Big Darryl Powell? Oh fuck! He got treated. He got ostracized on the job of. They fucked him up. I could see his face down.
Right, but look, listen. Let me get my point across. Right, the FA. Right, power, money, and corruption. They covered up the abuse that Barry Bennell did on potential footballers. It's all come out in the news. These people have spoke out. So back in the day, the FA could do anything. And whether if somebody, black players, should have gone up or anything, it would have been because of the FA. It wouldn't have been because of a certain people, because of the FA. I don't like the FA, and I think they're one of the most corrupt, non-political establishments that we have in the United Kingdom right now. And all because of that Barry Bennell. When you look at it, there was a Channel 4 Dispatches documentary 20 years ago about Barry Bennell and the FA, and it all got thrown under the carpet. That's how much power that they had, and it all got thrown under the carpet. So the FA, a dodgy, at that time, certainly in the 90s, a very dodgy organisation, and I don't have any love for them, because dozens of kids, black, white, mixed race, all got abused under the FA rule. So I don't have any love for him.
Not only the FA, FIFA as well.
FIFA, Seb Blatter as well, another one who's corrupted by power and influence.
I'm telling you, so the FA is the bottom of it, innit? I mean,
Yeah.
You got to look at the top.
Yeah.
Once you look at the top, and it's FIFA, and the right hand to the bottom is a serious web of.
And nobody has been held accountable for the cover up.
It's very, John, it's very similar to how the FIFA, the FA is very similar to how the government is run, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. Certainly, the corruptible, the power, it's money around it.
John, it's all the same. It's all about money, John. But it's all about money. And it's all about if you can be bought, John, it's how much.
Yeah.
They look at John Lawrence, you're already marked. They look at John Lawrence and they say, well, John Lawrence is from poor background. John Lawrence, watch him now. Look at him. He's worth 100 grand. Just offer him 100 grand, he take it. You know what I mean? And he go against all his principles. You could easily buy him out. That's what life is about. Is which one is easily bought out, John?
Yeah.
So you're a man like this, John. The thing is like this, yeah. It's like this. I know people, right, John, with the music thing, yeah. I'll give you an example. And the people who do music thing, they're doing their thing on the side. They're making their money. They might do drugs. They might sell drugs. And here, example. So next minute, the man is worth £1 million already from selling drugs.
Mm.
And they're still doing their music thing.
Mm.
An example like a rapper like Nine, for example, that the boys are doing prison now. It's all come out. But I'm giving an example. It's like, so the music label, they say, boom, boom, boom. We can offer you this. We can offer you that. They say, no problem. We take it. But we're still making this money, yes, on the street. We're still doing our thing.
Mm.
So it's like, which one, it's like, they say, you know what, we don't need this car. We're making, look at my watch. My watch is worth £150,000. How much are you going to offer me to sign that contract? You can't offer to the music man now, the boss now, he thinks, we can't even offer him £150,000 because the watch alone, what he's got on his wrist, is worth that. The ring, a ring there is worth 50 grand. That chain is worth 200,000. The man has got £500,000 worth of jewels alone. So how much are we going to really offer him to sign him as a recording artist?
I know, yeah.
So you have to look at your own value. And you look at your own value and you say, yeah, this is what I'm worth. I'm making this money on the street. I don't need your blood clot money. Because I'm 21 years old and I'm already worth £5 million from drug money.
Mm.
So what are you going to blood clot give me? Because I now want idiot money. Before they sign, I want £10 million. See me, and the man they sign and they still go back to, and they still stay on the street and still say their job. That's what everybody is in prison today. Right? Because some man is stay real to it. And when you say real to it, it's like you stay real to afford. There's man in Manchester, and they're in prison right now, and they're in prison for the rest of their life, the way I see it. Because they could have came out of the game, but they stay real to afford. I say, boy, you're so really, that you're so real, you rather do 40 years in prison to say you're so real. For fuck's sake, take the money and go on now. Take the money and run, John. Like Big John Lawrence now. I might say, John, there's £500,000. John, there's power in truth, right?
Yeah.
There's the power in truth.
Yeah, there is.
A man say to you, John Lawrence, you're speaking too much truth. You're speaking too much realness. Here's £600,000. to fuck off. To keep quiet. Fuck off now, John. Because you're a danger to our movement.
Yeah.
You're a danger for us getting votes.
Yeah.
Fuck off now. I did £500,000.
Right. No.
Why not?
Because it would be defeating everything I go against. I won't be changing anything or anything. It would just make things worse. What I would do, though, I would shout and work twice harder to get my voice heard. I would expose the people trying to bribe me, and I'd say they've not got the best interests of the Great Britain. I have.
That's right. You secretly record them. The first thing I do, I would secretly record them and say, look, you couldn't buy two varieties out for 600,000, for £10 million, for £20 million. Because the truth, if you could prove that to the public, that is more powerful than you taking the money.
Yeah.
That wins you the election right there.
Yeah, it certainly does.
That's what I see. Me and John Lawrence speak from the same hymn sheet, my people. He said he certainly does, because he knows if you expose the corruption, that's what wins you the votes. Not if you take the corruption. Not if you take the backhand fucking deal. That's what fucks up the country. And that's what's fucking us up. It's too much corrupted corruption, taking a fucking backhand pussy-clot deal.
There is. There's too many of it.
Luxury. Well, me and John Lawrence live like £4 in here.
You know, like if I'm Prime Minister or if I was leader of the Conservative Party, I would just be bothered about British businesses. I wouldn't be bothered about China. I won't be getting into them too much. I'd be focusing on Britain. That's what we want to do as a housing party, developing onwards. We want things British. We want British businesses to do well. Britain's got a big history.
Let me help you now, John. You're the man. You're like me. Me and your working class, you. We go to the pub. We speak to people, right, John?
Yeah.
Every category, right?
Yeah.
Tell me something. When you say you want everything to be British, do you think the British lads are up to the task?
What of getting us
running the country?
Yeah. Of course we are.
I am a councillor. John, let me tell you something. Most of the British lads, between 20 years old and 40 years old, they come to me. It's a truth for us. I've got a Friday feeling, mate. Go to the pub, have a couple of lines, mate. You know what I mean? I need to get off Charlie, mate. I need to get off the gear. John, how is that white British people, British men, ready to run and serve this country, Charlie'd up, cocaine up? Tell me how.
Oh, not good. Not good. I have a low opinion. I have a low opinion on stuff like I've talked about it before.
John, me you have to be real, yes or no?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Right, so let's touch on the reality of what we have here in Britain. The kind of men we ask, and John, if there was a draft right now, and we asked these men to go fight in the war, fight in the army to save us, like we had in World War I against Hitler, and so forth, how would these boys serve up? How would they serve up, John? When you speak to army veterans nowadays, how would they serve up, John?
Not good. Not good. They wouldn't. Nowadays, they wouldn't serve up that good.
Thank you very much, John. You're speaking to a man who deals with reality.
It's been said a lot. It's been said a lot that the British man has been so much under pressure that he's lost his masculinity. He's lost his fight. This is said across the board. I hear it all the time.
It's not only about British man, that's about male, period. The black man, they lost their masculinity. Everyone wanted to be feminized, right? That's not about the British man. That's about how a certain kind of domination has dominated the alpha male into submitting and to start with skinny jeans, tight pants, and start saying, "Hello, John. How are you, John? I want to,
No, you're right. Honestly, I'm not. I don't know any figures, but that is an impression that I get off a lot of people about English men. That's what I've heard a lot.
It's the truth. It's the truth. The man is saying, John, it's like me. John, my name's Super Right. I want to take you out for dinner. What I want? Does John look like a girl?
Empress Janet. No, but listen. I've talked about this before, and one of the failings of people is drugs is a big failing, especially cocaine, heroin, how it's affected our communities and people and brought families down. Cocaine is a big one, and it is a very popular drug with a lot of different people, but just as much black people as white people. But it affects everyone, and it's no good for our communities and keeping our communities and families together. It definitely isn't. I bet there's 10 people in this chat who can say that their family have had problems with drugs.
And it's not only that, it's not only the cocaine. The worst thing is the heroin, bro.
Yeah, the heroin. We talked about this. Yeah.
Let's look at the heroin, how it's affected so much families, my people.
Honestly.
The heroin, let's combine it, my people, right? We're all same age, my people, white, black, Indian, Chinese. Heroin, alcohol, and cocaine. You put those three combinations, and what do we have? We have a society, what we have today is a society where it can't go nowhere. Because, look, whether you're Asian, or whether you're white, or whether you're black, you're trying to galvanize people who are zombies. Okay, who are zombies, because there's three drugs here: heroin, alcohol, cocaine. Now, you mix that with the new drugs, what they have now. Spice, amphetamine, prescription drugs. You're on a road to, you're on a hide into nothing. You're on a road to hell, as Dire Straits said. You're on a road to hell.
But I mean, with the drugs, though, I mean, what are the issues here? We have a lot of drugs in England. It's all crime based and stuff like that. How are we ever gonna get out of that? How are we gonna teach kids about drugs and stuff like that? I mean, a lot of my family, there's only a few members who've gone off the rails, but most of us are quite sensible. You know,
Virgin, you're never going to teach because the teaching thing got out the window. Because once you can make drugs, we live in a state of poverty. Ever since me and you as liquor boy, we're impoverished. It's poverty. What drives us to crime in the first place, right? John, they come for a new thing. John, they come for a new thing. Watch out. They come for a new thing. They call it COVID. It's mashed up the whole industry, brother. It makes drugs even more prevalent in society. Yes or no? Whether you like it or not, people need more drugs.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore, you're never going to stop it. Right? It's how you educate the people of what these hard drugs does, John.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I agree totally.
Man like you, John, that's all you could do is educate them. You know why, John? You've been there and you've done it, and you've got the T-shirt to show for it. So at the end of the day, sometimes the talk on drugs and what it does for people is more hard-hitting than any political talk that me and you do. Because it could steer somebody from suicide tonight. Because after they come down, one of the worst things my people of taking drugs is to come down.
Yeah.
And take it from the great man who's been in crack houses, who's from a very young age and seen the come down of crack addiction. And the come down is real. They make it kill your mama. They make it kill your baby. Make it kill their body for that immediate hit. You dig, my people? This is the USA. England is the USA. You see John Lawrence in Manchester, he will tell you that.
Manchester.
You see Manchester, John Lawrence could jump in a taxi 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and he could go and he could get any drug he wanted in that Manchester. And he will tell you that.
Yeah, of course, honestly.
John Lawrence could stay for 1 week in drug house, and he could video and record it, and he could show you every drug zombie in Manchester, the same way I could show you in London. Is that real?
Yeah.
Right? And that might be more hard-hitting, and that might be more educational for you motherfuckers out here than what we're talking about. Because that might actually wake you up more than the political talk that we're talking about.
So hang on. So I mean, the other thing about drugs is it can benefit those who want to control people, those who want people to depend on everything. I mean, I don't want to say the word, but COVID has shown that. And
Bertrand, the drug thing is real. You know, like when John Lawrence now, if John Lawrence get £500-600, and John Lawrence go out there and he spend that money on him and his girl, you know what a nice, beautiful feeling that feels? Because the drug thing is real, my people. See? John Lawrence will say, boy, I remember the day when we just bombed out on drugs. Now, I come to the age of realization where this money is real. Before, when me and John Lawrence was young, £500-600 was nothing. We spent that nothing. But now, we come to the realization that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money because it's hard to get that money nowadays, you know.
But I've got a friend and he's a whistleblower, and his claim to fame is Britain's first international whistleblower, and is Britain's #1 bounty hunter as well, international bounty hunter. And how he got this was he blew the whistle on an American company that was ripping off British tax money.
All right.
Yeah. A big case. He came to my house. He did a stream with me, and his case is that delicate that he normally has a solicitor with him to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, or people in black suits come and take him away, and you never see him again. This is how big his thing is.
Yeah.
And he talked about money laundering and financial fraud done in the UK. And we see figures off the government and stuff like that, but it's a lot bigger than that. It's a lot bigger, and a lot of it has to do with drugs. Where does all this money go? Who makes most money off it? The government, they might not make money, but they make control. The people who might make money might be the people who can get access to drugs such as heroin, which comes from a big place called Afghanistan, which is right next to Pakistan.
Have you been out there before?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Right, because I got a friend who's going over to Goa this Monday. I got a virgin. I got a lot of friends who's going over to India all the time. So like, I mean, for years. I mean, my Irish traveller virgin, he's been going to Goa for like 35, nearly 40 years.
Right, yeah.
My man's nearly 60 now. My man's 50. Yeah, my man's 59 soon. You think it's a big age, you know. We're not young boys. I mean, me, I'm going to be 52 soon. You see me? I'll catch up to you, Joe. What are you, 55?
55 in July.
Yeah, I'm catching up to you. You know what I mean? I'm 52 soon.
I'm quite fit. I'm hoping by I'm the time I'm in my early 60s. I'm a member of Parliament.
So are you going to be? Does that mean you're going to be living near me in Westminster?
I might have a third home down there. Yeah.
A third home? Where's your second home? Preston?
Yeah, halfway Birmingham.
You got a place in Birmingham?
No. But what I'm saying is that's what all the MPs are. They've all got 3 or 4 homes. They've got 2 down in London. They rent them out to make money, and then they don't tell you the truth. They get porn videos on taxpayers' money. No, you know, I'll get a bit of all that, won't I?
Yeah. Well, how do you get paid then? How would you get paid in donations?
No, well, after that, it won't come to donations. I'll be being paid like Angela Rayner, 250 grand in a year. Expenses, £500,000. I'll get all that, won't I?
What's her name? You know Jada? Jada's still the deputy.
Yeah, Jada is a leader of British Freedom Party.
So, Jada got any kids?
No.
How old is Jada?
30s.
Like 30 what?
I'm not sure.
You look like she got a crush on you. Is Arlene worried about you now?
What?
Does Arlene look does Arlene like, she look like when I saw her interview, she goes, oh, I know you remember she saw you at Bagley's, yeah?
Batley.
Yeah. And she goes, oh, I knew you could be here, Big John. She look like she got a little crush on you, you know what I mean? Did Arlene kind of sense that, yeah?
No, Arlene's met. Have you met Jada? Yeah, Arlene's met Jada.
Arlene, I think she got a big crush on Big John. You got to watch her, you know?
No, it's the other way around, mate. It's the other way around.
I think she got a big. She goes, oh, that's Big John. Jada goes, that's Big John. I knew he was going to be here. She said, when you got outside back there, you goes, oh, Jada, I like you, Jada. Hey, John, I think you have a crush on Jada, you know what?
Of course. I wouldn't be. Well, why am I not going to say that? She's always been one of my favourites, and everyone knows that.
Well, you would get a heart for it, yeah?
What?
You kind of get turned on. I want to say, you get turned on there.
No, but she's been a favourite of mine. I don't know if you've heard her speak. She spoke against, what's it called from Speaker's Corner? What's that guy called?
Where is she from? What neck of the woods is she from?
Down south somewhere, London somewhere.
Jada Francis from London, yeah? Well, you think you could, do you think you can hook me up an interview with her, yeah?
You want to interview her?
Well, do you think she have a crush on me?
No, probably not.
So she's not into black man?
No, it's not. It's not that she's not into black men. It's nothing like that.
She have
But
a black baby.
would she have a black baby? I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
So let me interview her and let me see. Let me talk to her and say, Jada, do you think you can fall in love with a man like me? Even though I'm a married man. What do you think? Like, you as a girl in your 30s, you're old like my son's age, right? So does she think she can fall in love with a man?
I don't know.
Can't speak for her.
Would she have
I don't know.
a black man's baby?
You can't speak for her, darling.
Would she have a black man's baby?
What?
Ask her. That's what I'm trying to tell you, the history. Would she have a black man's baby?
I don't know. I'm not Jada. I'm not Jada. So how do I know?
So if she said to me, I'm too old, I say, will you have my son's baby? Because my son's in his 30s. If I'm in my 50s, I'm too old. My son's in his 30s, would you have his baby? And you have a person of colour's baby. Because my son's mixed race. So the baby still come out piece black, innit? Yeah. Tell her that.
I don't know.
So if she have a fully black man's baby, she can have a mixed race is my son's baby. And if she don't want a mixed race baby, she can have my son's son, who's a grandson, who's like, what colour is he?
Right. So. I mean, who do you think? I mean, Jada, I think, is one of the she's one of the my favourites in the cause. Certainly as a woman.
I want to interview Jada. I want to interview Tommy Robinson.
Well,
Interview Tommy Robinson.
so what?
Tommy Robinson can interview Tommy.
Who? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not on that scene no more. So I won't be the man to talk to.
And I want Jada's ex-husband to beat her up. Can I get an interview with him?
Paul Golding is not no ex-husband. He's not married to her. So what?
That's Jada's ex-husband. I put him on the spot.
Who you mean, Paul Golding?
Yeah.
He's never married to her. He's never married to her.
No, but what I'm saying is, if I get an interview with him, then Jada would have married me, innit?
I don't know, would she?
She might hold out my kids. Yeah, after I finish with him.
Listen, right. Listen, we're on 20. We're on 10:30, and I've had enough. I'm tired, and I want to get drinking.
What? I thought you were drinking already.
No, not much. Only a little. I want more.
Well, hold on. You winding me up?
No. I've had a couple of glasses of brandy and coke.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like me, that man like me. But John, we're on for 2 hours. We still got 20 minutes.
No, I've had enough. Well, I'll go on a little bit longer, but I've had enough.
We're good, John, because there's a lot of subjects. There's a lot of things we haven't touched on.
Right. Well, all right. At the moment, there's a child sexual exploitation inquiry in Oldham, and the mayor Andy Burnham in December or November said it would be more than likely come out on the 24th of January, but now it's being withheld. Now it's going to take longer, so everyone's in a bit of uproar. But some of it has been leaked to the newspapers.
Okay.
Some of the report. Now, the report in the newspapers, the articles state that there's going to be serious there's going to be apologies and failings by both the council and the police. Yeah. And I have been fortunate that I've seen some of this leaked report. Yeah. I can't say any more than that. I'll agree with what the papers say about it. So maybe just Google up about Oldham's child sexual exploitation report.
How old is Andy Burnham?
Let me just I'll find out now.
He seems quite younger than you, John.
Yeah, he is. 1970 we were born, so only 3 years younger.
He's 170.
Yeah.
When? January.
Pardon?
When is he born? January? February?
May. But I mean, I've never personally met him until the mayor's question time the other month, and.
Who do you want to meet now, John? This is important now. Who do you want? Now it's coming up to you build out your political campaign. You told me that you met George Galloway, who had a very great influence on you, and changed up your whole conception of how you thought about him, which I was very happy about. That how someone that you really hated could change up your conception, you know?
Yeah. Well, I didn't really hate him. I just thought.
No, you touch on him. Who do you want to meet now? Who's the next person like who you sort of like had grief with, and you don't want to meet them? You want to have it out with them?
Andy Burnham.
Burnham.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's leader of great. He's.
I look at that guy, John. John, I don't like that because I think he's a good bloke.
Well, right. Well, just let me tell you about him. Let me tell you what I think about him. Now, since I've come on to the mayor's question time and I asked him a question and I've seen him in action at the mayor's question time, my opinion of him is a bit different. He had a difficult situation to attend to because everyone was going on at him about child sexual exploitation. Not me, just normal members of the public. He handled the situation well. He talked well. I understand that he has qualities and stuff like that. But what it is with Andy Burnham, he's part of the Labour Party. And the Labour Party have an agenda. And that agenda I seriously do not want part of. I don't believe it's the best for Great Britain or anything like that. I don't believe that...
But instead of attacking the party and the rhetoric, right, discount the party and attack the person.
Right, well, I do.
But Virgin, this is where you're going wrong. You can still deal with the party and say, listen, the party of Labour never stand for that. Yeah, you hear me? So you don't represent Labour, because how could you be a sir and be a leader of Labour? Yeah, you hear me? you, the great truth of rights is more inclined to be the leader of Labour, or John Lawrence, who's not a sir, is more inclined to be the leader of Labour. You understand? Right? So we pull it up on the facts, John. And once you put it up on the facts, you can't go wrong. That's why I say, John, like me and you, we could do this thing. We could do this thing. I am assembled in like near the Whitehall. Where my stronghold is very close to Whitehall. So that's why I say we could do this thing, John, because we can overtake the upper car. You know what I mean? Because you got to know how to do it.
Yeah, well, I I just want to. The thing is,
I just want to touch on something. John, you know what you say? You said you stayed in you done the murder scene in the 3 boys, right?
Yeah.
And you stayed there for three days, yeah?
Yeah.
3 days you were in the murder scene, yeah?
Yeah.
Where do you stay? You there older, yeah?
No, I stayed at the Premier Inn Hotel on Shepperton Lane, which is like 100 yards away from the scene.
Who you stayed there with? Who you stayed in the hotel with?
On my own.
John Lawrence, you're my man.
And the first thing I did. Yeah. Well, I wanted to see the situation. I wanted to see the area.
Where was Ollie?
She's on settee.
Huh? No, we're not saying. When you stayed in the hotel, where was Ollie at the time?
Oh, she were in Scotland at the time.
In Scotland? Where was she in Scotland?
Well, the thing is, it was a mad week. What I did, I come to London. I went to the Royal Courts of Justice on a Thursday. Friday, I was at Shepperton Lane. Saturday, I went to Dover. Sunday, I headed up to the camp in Bath. So it was a mad week, and I did it on my own.
Now, my people, that's a lot to be commended, because this is a man. He done all this on his own.
Yeah, and remember, I went to Royal Courts of Justice following a story, which.
Enough, man. You know what they'll do? They'll have gal in their yard, in their room, and it's all kind of fuckery. And they fuck out a relationship, right? Because I'm gonna show you something. No, my people. Let me teach you the history. When you are driven, it's like you're driven, and you're driven, right? It's like man say, right, you get tempted, don't, because you don't get tempted because you're driven. It's like Malcolm X. If you look at all different people, and they are political. When you're political, no girl can tempt you. He's got his girl. It's just very similar to me in a job. We got our misses, right? And nothing could tempt you in a job.
No, I'm not that kind of person anyway.
No, but right. So you see, this is very important, John. That these people get this message out there, because so much people are misconstrued it by women. You know what I'm saying? And they get blinded by women, John, don't they?
Yeah. Quite a few men do, yeah.
But you don't get driven by women like me.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, well, it's not my biggest. It's not my biggest weakness. Let's. There's worse weaknesses than that.
Exactly. And that's what people need to learn. We don't get driven by women. Women don't send us weak. We're driven by what we're trying to achieve.
No. Your missus is your support. She is your rock. She's your stable part of the thing that keeps you up. But they don't. They're not in control. But she's your ideal missus is the one who supports you. Talks about your views, even though she disagrees with them. You don't act.
They're always there for us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My brother, thanks for the comment, brother. Big up yourself, my brother. Yeah. No, but it's the truth. That's big up someone, John Lawrence, bringing that comment there, Positive, No, but it's the truth, John, it's like the women are driving force, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, no, they're not the driving force. They are the stability.
the thing that like binds with something else to make things better. That's what the women are.
So the woman's the driving force, John, because, John, we are talking about how long you been involved in?
On and off a while.
How long was a while? You look up blood clot.
4 years.
4 years. So then 4 years. How old are you now?
54.
Yeah? So you see, in Buckup, Arlene, when he was 5 my people, and I'm still 52. So I know that's a very pivotal age in your life. You see? So when you reach 5 now, and your Buckup is sweetheart, you see? It's not a time to fuck about. He knows that he's not 20, he's not 30, he's not 40, he's fucking 50. And his next one is what? His next milestone is 60. You see? So he can't play about anymore, my people. Because John Lawrence and Mr. Boy, you want to see me putting force on, you want pause. You want pause on boy, yeah. John Lawrence, handsome, some blood company. Prince Charming. Yeah. So, John Lawrence, I see your white top on. You got a white top on, and you're your missus. And I said, look how poor this. Lawrence, they're playing games. John Lawrence, they're playing games. Come on.
So there's a lot going on in Oldham at the moment with that child sex exploitation review. There's a lot of hostility and worried and comments going towards the council and the police. As you know, Greater Manchester Police are under special measures for failing vulnerable victims who've been raped by rape gangs. Victoria Agolia died of an heroin poisoning given to her by one of the guys who'd raped her. The police knew that she was...
What year was that, John?
Pardon?
What year was that?
I think she died in 2000. Hold on.
That's like an African name, isn't it?
No, she's a white English girl.
Who's she raped by? It's Asian.
Yeah.
Muslims, yeah?
Yeah.
How much them?
They estimate 100 different men raped her.
Wow, how long did they get?
Nothing, nobody's been convicted of it.
Shit.
And
You go to it, yeah?
pardon?
Did you speak to her?
I didn't speak to her. She's dead now, but she died in 2003, and she'd been reported missing from her care home 150 times to the police. The perpetrators were just turning up in cars and she was just going out with them. They're injecting her with drugs. The police knew who were doing this. They knew where she'd been. They knew everything about these people.
Did you used to stay in Oldham when you were in Manchester?
Pardon?
When you was growing up, you stayed in Oldham when you were in Manchester?
No, Manchester as well. My family, my dad spent a lot of time in Moss Side because he had a daughter down there. So we spent a lot of time in central Moss Side. In the times of the riots, I walked down Alexandra Road when all the shops were all smashed up as a little kid, asking my dad what went on.
Why did your dad die?
2006.
How old are you?
83.
Now, how old are you?
How old was I? So 2006. I'm 54 now. So what's that? 14, 15, 16 years ago. So I'm just coming up to my 40s.
Were you 40 yet?
39 I might have been or something like that.
You was close to your dad, yeah?
Yeah.
You recovered all right, though?
Did I recover?
Yeah.
I did, but I moved to Bradford for a few years and
No,
did...
do you think you recovered from your dad's death, I'm saying?
Who, me? Yeah, of course I have, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, definitely. His attitude to life and that is what I strive to do now.
You're is your dad in your life today?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Is he in your house?
Oh, he's with me. He's with me.
You got stuff in your house. Is he like a ghost in your house?
No, he's not a ghost. He's part of me.
You know,
There's no ghost. There's no ghost or anything like that. My dad's blood flows through me. There's no ghost. There's no spooky spirit.
How do you know your dad's blood flowing through you?
Well, I mean, over the years, a lot of my friends have said I'm just like my dad.
But how do you know, Joe?
I just know it's in me.
What did your dad fight for? Did he fight for black people or white people?
Everybody's rights, fair treatment. He fought for the working class to get better treated, better pay. He went through all the revolutions.
John, I tell you what, I like that. Do I remind you of your dad?
A little bit in some of the things you say, yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. Because I knew you like the Jack Johnson video, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I remind you of your dad. Your dad fought for everyone, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he fought for the working class. He fought for people's rights.
That's what I do, isn't it, John?
Yeah. You're more fair than a lot of people I've seen. Yeah. We fight for truth and we fight for a better society. My dad wanted all that. He didn't want people stabbing each other on the streets. He didn't want violence ruling or anything like that. Just that wasn't him. He's just totally not that.
People like your father, they're turning in their grave when they see black boys killing each other. Elijah?
Yeah.
They're turning in their graves.
Yeah.
And I speak up for them. And you do the same, John.
Yeah.
But we're not only talking about black boys killing each other, we're talking about every boy killing each other.
Yeah. That's what it is now.
The Chinese. Stop killing each other, man. That's what we're fighting for. It's not about a colour thing. It's about a kid. You're kids, man. And then, John.
Yeah. Every child is killed. We're all.
Man, you're fucking. It's not about a race thing. It's about your fucking kids, man.
Listen.
You're making the bones, man.
Yeah. In London, in London, personally, in London, I think that a majority of death in youth is black crime for whatever reason. But going across the country, that expands to a lot of different communities. There's white lads involved in crime, stabbing each other. There's Eastern European gangs going around stabbing and shooting each other, and they're all youth. They're all 19, 20.
They're all young kids, man.
Yeah.
Not kill each other. The ultimate message, me and John, we want to put out there, kids, is stop killing each other. That's the ultimate message me and Big John want to put out there. It's like, if you're about this bigger thing, because me and Big John Lawrence, we know, innit, John? John, what is it about?
It's about protecting our youth, man. Getting them to grow up so they're not killing each other.
John, I met you through the EDL thing, right, John?
Well, through the protest thing, yeah.
Right. But John, what is it? When we boil it, when we look down, when we boil it, when we both, me and you, our same age group, when we break it down and we take it down away from that, me and you, what we grew up, how we grew up, what is it really about? It's about gang violence, isn't it? That's got to be our biggest passion. It's got to be about these kids killing each other.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because I hear in your voice, John, right? I touch a nerve tonight, my people. I realise that, you know what, with my people, with John Lawrence, it's not about this EDL thing. It's not about political thing. It's about this youth killing each other, I could hear it in his voice. It's really about that. Because he is as frustrated as I am. He can't understand why these kids are killing each other. It's frightening. I can hear the fear in his voice. The fear in his voice is much more alarming than any political debate. Elijah? You can hear it. You can hear it in his voice. It's not about our biggest threat, my people, is not our politicians. It's our kids. When John Lawrence walks out the door, it's not his politicians who is his biggest threat to me and you. It's our children, my people, who we grew. when me and John Lawrence, when we was little kids, and our elders grew up to a certain state of responsibility, those elders nowadays don't have that to protect our kids. And that's why me and John Lawrence is doing this talk today. I like John Lawrence.
All right.
Is that right?
It is. It certainly is. Right now, I'm definitely going. I want to go toilet, have a good long pee, because I haven't moved from me chair much. But thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you, our Andrew, my nephew.
John Lawrence, because they're going to get enlightened. Because you know why they're going to get enlightened? Because they know the people who've got kids today. They know that, boy, you know what? I hope my kids are protected, because tomorrow night they know it could be their kids on the line.
Yeah, it could. Listen, let me just say hello to my nephew in the chat, Andrew Mitchell. Make sure you like and subscribe to my chat, everyone.
He's a great man.
Let me just put Truth and Rights. Hold on. I've put Truth and Rights, his link into the chat. He's got loads of videos on about all sorts of cases going across London.
It's not about no views, man. It's about doing the right
Yeah, it's about doing the. Let me get to that. It goes on about a lot of cases across London, and very similar to me, looking at youth cases and that, talking about why kids are all stabbing each other up.
Me and the missus just drinking out this drink, keep it warm, man, because it's cold out there, John Lawrence, man. It's cold out there, you dig? It's cold out there. We're just drinking out some juice, man. This more whiskey is warm, man.
But thank you very much, everyone in the chat.
Part 2. Me and John Lawrence going to part 3 very soon, man.
Couple of weeks, and we'll come on with a part 3.
That's how we do it, man. We're just keeping it jiggy. Because this is Wu-Tang, man. But John, it's been a beautiful feeling, beautiful occasion as usual, man. You know, it's all love, man. When you see this shit, you see my new side. See, I got a new setting to that. It's all love. It's all about the love, John. That's what I tell for my main man, love.
Well, there's no peace without roughness and war beforehand. That's what they all say. So I've got a bit of a battle to come, and then there's a lot of love for everyone then.
When they come on my side, all they see is a side what says love. That's what I represent, man. The truth and right. I represent love.
Don't forget, anybody, if they haven't seen already, Justice for Our Boys, please follow the link. I've got a video documentary, part 1 on my YouTube. You can look at that. If you need any other questions about the case or anything like that, my email's there. I also will be putting up some information this week. I'll be talking about the crash report I talked about earlier on, and I'll be going on again about the letter from Nick Hurd and what MPs and stuff are doing. But don't forget, please subscribe to Truth and Rights TV. The link's in the chat. Please like and subscribe to mine. Look through our videos. Both of us have done extensive videos about all sorts of cases all over the country. So please have a look through them and let us know.
John Lawrence in that. That's why I love John Lawrence in that. You do, John?
Thank you. I am. Thank you very much.
No, you have to go right now, man. Everything's all right, though, yeah?
It is. Everything's good.
How is Arlene, man?
She's good. I think she's checked.
What brandy were you drinking tonight, man?
3 barrels.
I love that John Barrel, man. John, so when am I coming up there, man?
Pardon?
When am I coming up to Oldham, man?
Whenever you want. Sort something out and you can come up and I'll take you round.
You know Wigan? Is Wigan near you?
Not really, but it isn't. But I can get to Wigan.
How far is Wigan from you?
20 mile maybe.
Wigan. So where are you? Are you Wigan, Oldham, Blackburn?
No, I'm in North Oldham. My town boundary is Yorkshire.
How far are you from London then? Like when you got on the train?
It's 2.25 hours. I can't remember how many miles it is.
2.25 hours.
Yeah.
And when you got to Sunderland from you, how far are you from Sunderland?
That's about 2 hours.
would live in Sunderland?
Would I live in the northeast? Yeah, I think I would do. Yeah.
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 Is it like Manchester? Yeah, like Oldham.
And I'm not saying it's like Oldham, but it's an industrial town. I know it's a lot of it's to do with fishing and because it's on the coast and all that lot. But it's we're the north. We're the workhorses of England. That's where England's money's come through the north. It's not come through the south. It's come through the north.
Okay. The north,
Yeah. Particularly Liverpool through the slave trade. That's where Liverpool's wealth come. It's through the slave trade, and that slave trade, because it was cotton, it went to Oldham, made Oldham wealthy, and then it went to Yorkshire to make Yorkshire wealthy with all the garment processing and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of the wealth come from in the north of the northwest.
In Liverpool, I would have got that museum in Liverpool. It's meant to be really good, isn't it?
Which one?
The slave trade museum.
Oh yeah. It's supposed to be good, yeah. But I mean, I've got issues with like slavery. I've got issues with the truth being told, and we talk about the truth.
Would you like to be a slave?
And there's a guy who doesn't.
I asked you, would you like to be a slave?
Who, me? If the kind of person I am to know how it is at the time, yes.
Yeah, you'd like to be a slave, innit?
No. I'd like to see what the life was of a slave myself personally.
Sure, but you just got raped, man, by the master.
Yeah, but I still, I know, but we could talk about it in history. But I mean, until I see things in action.
Do you know what you'd like to be a slave, babe?
Yeah, but how do we know what went on? How do we know how brutal it was? There's a guy in Liverpool who does talks on slavery, which is and he's called Lawrence. He's a good guy, and he does talks on slavery, and he goes more deeper. It goes more deeper into what people think about slavery. It goes more deeper into. Listen, it goes more deeper into the atrocities and stuff to do with slavery, and he says a lot of things that people just won't even know. You know what I mean? So very deep. There's a lot of history all over our country, especially in places like Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah. Did you go there? Did you go to the docks?
I've been.
So, when you went to Liverpool the other day, where did you go?
I went to the town hall.
Yeah. Where was that?
In Liverpool, in a mansion of massive buildings and stupendously expensive stone buildings and stuff like that. And what I said is that if we want to start taking statues down of slave traders, then let's take all these buildings down in Liverpool as well.
It started Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It started Liverpool.
Yeah, take it all down to the ground. Erase. If they want to start taking statues down, then.
That's what the problem is, you see. It only started in Liverpool the other day, you see. But we've been starting in like places like all over Britain for years, Johnny.
Yeah, I know, but Liverpool made a lot of money. Liverpool.
Oh, the docks. Remember I was saying to you? Hey, John, you got Liverpool.
Liverpool got wealthy through the slave trade. But what I'm saying is, if we want to start going on about statues to do with the slave trade, Colston, let's take all them buildings down that were built by slave trade money.
Do you think, John, on a real, right? Do you think, right, that the slave trade statues should be there? Should they be there pulled down, or should they be monuments of, as people say, like what they stood for?
No. Every statue of anybody, whoever it is, should stay up. But we should. So we don't repeat the mistakes we made by erasing the history now.
But you see, this is why this talk is not on air, because me and you, we just don't agree with that, because the statues of the white people, John, of someone like Rhodes, who made the country. I mean, John, how can you keep building up a country, my brother, of the the hate of your father's race called Rhodesia.
Well, actually, there's not. If you look at Rhodes,
John,
it's not.
I mean, and John, but if you look at that, right, what you're standing for, you can say that you need a pill, John. I would prescribe you the pill myself.
Yeah, but Rhodes never hated anyone. He loved money.
Man, a what? Apartheid.
Rhodes never hated any. Listen, you just said no. You just said Rhodes hated everyone. You just said.
You can argue as much as you want.
I know, but you said that Rhodes. I know, but I know, but you're not. Yeah, but you just said Rhodes hated everybody. He didn't hate everyone. He made money. He loved money.
So you say Rhodesia, yeah?
No, Rhodes. You talked about slave trader Rhodes.
Yeah, and so hold on. So you're saying, yeah, that one white man, yeah, should build up a country, yeah, John, on his name, yeah, for Rhodesia, yeah. And you're saying you're cool with that, yeah?
No. What? I never said that. I said that he never hated anyone and he made his money off the slave trade. But rather than saying
John Lawrence, yeah, you're saying your name, John Lawrence, yeah, is insignificant, yeah, to a name called Rhodes, yeah. I'm saying you, yeah, my name, yeah, the real truth and rights, yeah, could never be insignificant, yeah, to Rhodes, yeah, because my name does not stand for a name or I say, John, me is bigger than the world. Because I call a country called Truth and Rights, you know, John. So, John, you call a country, yeah, called John Lawrence. What I say? John, you call a country called John Lawrence, yeah?
no, I wouldn't want my country.
John, hold on a minute. Don't bother say no. You call a country called John Lawrence, or your gal call a country called Arlene. Yeah, you hear me? Nobody say no. Your gal call a country called Arlene, or you call a country called John Lawrence.
John Lawrence said country John Lawrence, right?
No, hold on. What your blood clot tell me?
No, go on. You just said I've named the country John Lawrence.
You call a country called John Lawrence, my brethren.
Yeah, go on.
You call a country called Arlene.
Yeah.
I call a country called Peter. I call a country called Tom.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
What is that telling you about myself? I am the most narcissistic master on this planet. So you don't bother tell me nothing about Rhodes. All right then. So done the argument now and move on.
Yeah, I know, but Rhodes, the slave trade was all about money. The slave trade.
When you did and Rhodes, you done the argument because I just finished it already.
Right. All right. You said that Rhodes hated black people. He didn't. He loved money. He loved wealth and power.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I can't call a country, John, after my real name. You can't call a country John Lawrence. Arlene can't call a country Arlene.
No, shouldn't be able to.
Right, then. But the man called his a country, a whole place on the planet universe, my brother, after his name.
So has it not been changed? Has Rhodesia not been changed?
But once you call a country, the man went to colonize a place on the earth, my brother.
Yeah, so
after his name.
So it's Rhodesia. I'm just checking Rhodesia. I'm just checking about Rhodesia.
So I must question that, my brother. That's what I'm telling you. Because, John, I'm here as me and Dia's brethren, and Arlene is my brethren. And Arlene said, she go somewhere in the world, and she said, my name is, this place just says Arlene. What is? It's only her mother who call her Arlene. It's only my mother and father who call me Truth and Rights. I'm not here to say I'll go somewhere and conquer part of the world and say my name. Everybody must call me Truth and Rights. What am I not? I'm saying I'm some sort of messiah. I'm some sort of God. I don't proclaim to be some sort of God. I'm not that narcissistic. My name is merely the humble truth and rights. And your name is the humble John Lawrence. You don't claim to see, my name is Rhodesia. I don't go outside some university and see your name.
No, but if I did good, I don't want to name a country after me. But no, I understand some of the things you're saying, but still, again, the slave trade was built on money and power, and these people are still around now. These people still.
Tell me something. Would you like to be a slave?
Right. I would want to be a slave to see how brutally and to see what their life was like. Yeah, because that's the kind of person I am. I can't talk about something unless I've been there. I can't set about a certain road, how fast it is, until I see it. I can't look at a crime scene. I can't talk about a crime scene when I haven't been there. That's foremost in everything. Now, if people wanted to know about the slave trade, then they should be slaves for a week. They should go back and see what it was like and see the brutality of what happened. They should see how people were treated. They should see that at the end of the slave trade, when it was coming to its end, they should see how the Portuguese double loaded the ships, knowing that half of the people would die, and then still trying to get people over to America. They should see all this to see, and then they can make a decision. Until you don't see them, until your daughter gets raped, you don't know that kind of situation. You don't know how it makes you feel. And there's people out there who've experienced this, and these are the people who will learn off. We try to understand to make things better. But yeah, everyone should have a chance at doing a week at slave trade. See how they think. Right, listen. We've.
How long have you felt like that, man?
All my life I've been the person that I need to see what's going on. I need to look at it. I need to learn. I need to.
If you felt like that, yeah, why would you go to if you felt like that?
Again, I went on them marches to see what they were like. I told you this. I wanted to experience.
If you felt like the slave trade shit,
yeah.
Like me, I felt affinity for the slave trade, but I felt like it the opposite from you, because you felt like it the oppressor, the beating the black man.
money, power, and wealth. Nothing to do.
John, I'm gonna ask you this now.
Go on.
Why have you beaten me so much with your whip?
I'm not beating. I'm not. I just want.
The white man, right?
How can we comment? On something?
But do you agree that the black man, that the white man has agreed, has beaten me too much with the whip?
Who beaten you? He hasn't beaten you.
No, hold on, brother. Your white mom and your black dad would agree that we've been whipped too much by your white mom's race. You don't agree?
No, because you haven't been beaten.
We've been beaten.
If you've been beaten that much, how come you're speaking out?
Because John, you're confused. I'm born in Paddington Hospital, and you're born in Manchester. You're confused. You love the white man. The white race. No, John, listen. It's only me and you on the phone. And John, you're white race.
You're still live. Yeah, but half my family's white though. Half my family's white. No, you blaspheming. When you talk like that, you blasphemous me mum. No, you talk like that, you blasphemous me family.
John, you're white race.
No, I'm half.
No, I don't care.
I'm mixed race.
That's the difference, because your mom is the white mom. My mom is not white. My mom is black. My dad is black. So my children are the same color as you. That's the difference. So you stick up for your white race. I have no problem with that. I'm cool with that. But why? You're in denial of the truth.
Really? How'd you work that out?
Because of course. Because you agree with everything I say to you all night. We're speaking for 3 hours, John.
Yeah, we agree on certain. There's a lot of stuff we agree on, but we don't agree on everything. And I'm trying to tell you.
That's the beauty of our conversation, because we don't divert from the truth.
What you said.
The truth is this.
I don't agree. At current rates, the black man's going to hold the whip over the white guy.
Of course, where's the black man holds the power? Show me evidence now. You, with your denial of the black existence, show me the evidence of the black man with the in denial of the white man with the power. Show me one iota. Go on.
And Don Butler, and what's the other one called?
Give me one black man's name who's got the power of a white man in the UK. Go on.
Oh, hold on a minute. I'm getting a name up now. Claudia Webb.
Go on.
Claudia Webb.
You can say the only.
Claudia Webb has got control over everyone because she's not been sacked as a member. She's not been sacked. She's not been sacked as a member of Parliament.
This is a person who's totally inadequate. He's talking about a mixed race woman who's just been convicted. Has got no power over the white race. There you go.
Well, how come she hasn't been? How come she's still an MP? How come she's still an MP?
Black person again. I should put it to you again. Show me one black person in your 55 years old years. You keep attacking the black race. Show me one black person who's got the power of the white, pink race, my brother. Of the pink melanin.
Right, listen, pink melanin. I ain't heard that for a bit. But bro, I'm going. I need a wee, and I'm going.
You can live the life of Jay-Z. You know.
listen, bro, listen.
We only can wish
Listen.
to China. Have you been to Peking before?
Right, listen. I'm going. I need a wee. Good talking. Couple of weeks. We'll get another stream going.
Me and John Lawrence can only dream of.
Right, listen. Couple of weeks. We'll get another stream going. Yeah. Yes, Savage.
Mother and his mother's birthplace for his